Get 'em, Jimmy, where Low Shack at? The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, July 6th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. 2 and 3 day yesterday. The ninth inning in Arizona cost me a winning day. The two errors in Washington cost the first 5 under 5.5. Both were run-scoring errors. That really, really bothered me. Seattle, San Francisco, first 3 under 2.5 was no sweater. The cap on Tommy Malone was bang on. Pirates team total over 3.5 was a no sweater, but they only ended up with 4, but we got there in like the third or fourth inning. It was the Diamondbacks. The Cubs first 5 minus a half. It's just, when I make a bet the night before, if the market moves with me, the ROI is outrageous. If the market doesn't move, the ROI is very negative. And that happened with the Cubs first 5 minus a half. And it also sort of screwed me this morning or last night with the Orioles. I wanted Bradish in the Orioles first 5, but I was like, this happened last week, actually last Friday with the Orioles. And I bet them the night before, and I was like, I expect the market to move. The market didn't move, and I lost. So I was like, let's just wait. But fucking double-edged sword, because if you wait and the market moves 20 cents like it did, is it still worth it at that price? And I deem no. So it's upsetting. And then the winning streak stops. But the goal was just to get to single units here by tomorrow, or by tomorrow midnight or Saturday morning. So that's still well within reach, and I expect it to get there. I feel the weight of baseball's analytics, and especially with some of these pitchers that we're talking about today. Ryan Nelson's difficulty at home, Julio Urias's ability to pitch at home, whether or not, I think we can trust what Urias is doing at home. You got to go to Ryan Nelson's BABIP of, it's 357 at home. So he's, had some bad luck with balls in play. And then I feel it. I feel the need to succeed so enormously. I think we all do, especially ones with young families that we're providing for. It's there's nothing more important, really. We say family is the most important thing in life, but if we don't succeed here, how do we provide properly for them? So it's a battle. It's a battle, and I love this football game tonight in Canada, and I've opened it up. Which I'm trying to do more when I really like a spot. So I got 250 double up. So I got 500 on this football game tonight, and I'm really confident in it. I know that doesn't necessarily equate to cash, but the line did move this morning in my direction, and I'll break down exactly why I like it so much. And I almost bet it differently, and we'll get into all that, but I'm pretty comfortable with it. Let's get to work, and I feel like with the weight of needing to succeed in baseball analytics, that this show is not as fun as I want it to be. It is what it is. It's just about winning is so goddamn important, and sometimes that takes a bit of the humor out of the show, So thank you guys for joining us. We got Justin McElvey in the house. He gets started with the Stacks play of the day. Diamondbacks game over 10 for Stacks. I can't wait to break down that game. We also have a Brizzy here. Now, I know it's, tricky quantifying, because Brizzy cashed his Spurs parlay. But those who got the 180.5, which was what was available at the time, lost the parlay by a half point. And we're talking a 7-1 parlay. again, I mean, you got to get in early. And for a guy like Brizzy in these, especially Summer League and WNBA, the market's going to move so drastically. But he also cashed that Minnesota Lynx first quarter, and we weren't going to have. We were just going to have Canadian football and baseball today. But after his success yesterday, we let's bring him right back. So Brizzy will be joining us. There's one WNBA game and two spots in NBA Summer League. Let me get this Arizona spot copied and pasted here. I can't remember where it is. When are they playing? Sorry, I just the notes that I end up making for these games. Oh, there we go. 9:40 p.m. All right, I got Justin McElvee's action. There's Professor Chris, 5-4 a day yesterday. Says he feels a big one today. He's on the Diamondbacks. Ron Walsick says Phillies 11-game road win streak, the best since 1976. Brooms out to sweep the Rays. I like that look, Ron. There's serious business in the house. Rocco Rogers, Subhuman Gaucho, Rem Moses, Arizona losing with 3-2 count in ninth when went up 1-0 for rating. It took me 2 hours of staring at the ceiling before I could go to sleep. But, that's baseball, Rem, and it's bothersome. Billy Friedrich says, rough day for me yesterday. Let's rebound today. Already cashed 4 WTA Wimbledon bets this morning. I love that. Billy said the Arizona loss killed me. Yeah, it's fucking, Mark Mint, Zambia money line. Mark Mint in the house. Thank you for joining us, Mark. There's Mally Mal ready to get to work. AOD, JW. I love AOD's positivity, the energy that he brings to all of us. Cash flow play today from 1 of 1. Benny Astros -1.5 cashed. Oakland first 5 cashed. Thank God we stayed off of the Tigers. It was funny. I was thinking of our friend Nasty Nate, who we all love dearly, and he was saying, "Are you going to say tomorrow with the Tiger spot that you should have bet it and cashed with everybody?" And it wasn't. It was the Red Sox spot. My cap said Gray Wolf is vulnerable and Bayo keep pitching well, but the total goes up to 10 and I stay off of it like a schmuck. That's the one, Nate, where I'm like, I should have cashed with you guys on. BJ, best bet, Rangers -139. Rangers -139 for today. Get that here locked and loaded for BJ's best bet. Rangers here. Eovaldi versus Cutter Crawford. Strange line movement in that. Very strange. I was thinking the same thing, but I mean, market not moving to Eovaldi, who's been spectacular on the road, and we'll talk all about that. Mally Mouse, it's WNBA where the bag resides. There's a great job cashing that Lynx first quarter. There's BJ. There's razor sharp picks in the house. Said smack them in the horses yesterday. Catch early and late picks 5s at Parks. Beautiful. 17 exactas over 34 races. Unbelievable. Great job, Razor. There's Danny Lopez in the house. Troy says Tigers was an absolute travesty. It happens, man. Tom Leach ready to go. Troy says lost 2 tough ones. Cubs first half should have covered. Diamondbacks lose it in the 9th. Yeah, I mean, look, if those 2 things don't happen, it's a monster day for me as well. All right. Spenny Penny Bombs in the house. Joe Yurkovich hit the A's money line last night. Nice job. Spreadsheet play today is the Rangers -1 and -108. I get it from an X's and O's standpoint. So BJ on it, Ron on it. I get it. Mally Mouses keep fading the LA Sparks. And BJ says Rangers pay the bills tonight. BJ says market moving towards Rangers as well. Did it start moving? Certainly hadn't. Let me move over there. No, market is not moving towards Rangers. No. This line, I guess now, 5 cents. But it took 16 hours for that. I guess it moved to 320. Last night it hadn't moved. The first move was towards the Red Sox. There was a 4-cent move towards the Red Sox after 6 hours. But now you've got a 5-cent move. I don't know. I know we're going to talk about that game here shortly, but I don't know if that's enough here. You have 61% of the tickets on the Rangers and just 24% of the cash. I can't follow you on the Rangers, even though I believe the X's and O's call for it. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet is on it, and you're on it, BJ, which is great. You always want to be aligned with both of you guys, but this is, to me, I just see clear, sharp action on the Red Sox, and that will just keep me off of it, I assume. But we'll break it down together. There's Joey Marinaccio, Dapper Capper in the house. What up, Joey? Great to see you, man. We have a great group and a lot of work to do here today. Reclaim James. Billy Friedrich says, bookmaker won't let me parlay NBA Summer League games. Oh, well, that sucks. Tony Based, ready to go. Lucas Ryan went 3-0. Parlayed all three. Nice job, Lucas. Beautiful. Jack Rosenblatt in the house says, ready for action today. Rocco Rogers, Andrew G. And the cash flow play today from 101 Benny is the Brewers -116. That's a tough one, too. I have one bet in. I missed on the Orioles, which sucks. But I found myself just staring at that Cubs-Brewers game. Stroman with back-to-back tough starts. Do we trust Freddie Peralta? I don't know, man. But the market's moving towards the under, 8.5 down to 8. B Fox ready to eat here. Tommy Leach, Mark's review says all over the Orioles run line today. I missed it. JW Chase White, Mike M in the house. Mally Mal says Houston Astros coming for first place. Ride them, yeah. There was a lot of better times to bet them to win the division. Because when I did, I only got even money on them. And there was a lot, even if I waited 2 weeks, I would have got better money. But I do agree. I think they're very, very good. Very, very good. Danny Lopez, Scotty Pimpin said catch on that under 10 Red Sox. Yeah, and Big Review was on it as well. I was clearly leaving money on the table there for me. Markers reviews liking Bradish strikeouts. Tom Leach says Yankees first 5 was my play of. Sorry, I lost that here. Play of the day yesterday. Nice job. Nice job on that one. All right, let's roll. Morgan Spooner, Professor Chris, Razor Sharp Pick says Reds and plus money. Vegas giving away free money. I'm on the Nats first 5. With confidence. There's Swiss Horde says I was looking for Pete in Brooklyn, nowhere to be found. We could have hooked that up for you, Swissy. We could have hooked that up for you. Joel Walsh ready to go. Luke Murphy says Rangers Red Sox line is fishy. Evaldi's only given up more than 5 hits in 6 of the last 17 games, giving up 7 or more and only 3, and yet his hits is sitting at 6.5. Yeah, it is fishy. Mal says my first 3 bets have been hot. They have been. I love first 3 bets. I love it. Thanks, Joel Walsh rode with me. It was no sweat. That was absolute no sweat. All right, let's get to work. Thank you guys all so much for joining with us. There's our guy, TJ, back in action. Tough loss on the Yankees. I mean, Kramer heaved or shoved. I thought I had that wrong. I stayed off of it for the wrong reasons, But. All right, Joe Yerford says Detroit -165 today. Says that's what the line should have been yesterday. Thank you guys for joining us. In the old days, when I'm feeling like this, just with the weight of, of the need to succeed, so desperate, the first thing I'd do is I would pour myself a shot of Kraken, and then I would scream out loud and we'd get the day started. I'm trying to be around for the family, so I'm not going to do that. But that's what I want to be doing right now, dude. I want a fucking shot of Kraken right now. All right, let's get to work. Let's get to fucking work, man. All right, I love this Canadian football game tonight. I love it. I got 250 on the first half over 21.5, and the full game over 43.5. It's moved to 44 at Bet365. It's in Mosaic Stadium in Regina, Saskatchewan. Razor says 1 shot a day keeps everything great. Abdi says Edmonton Elks 5 games in 25 days. Saskatchewan Roughriders at home -7. I wanted to bet the Elks at +7.5 badly. Oh, look at our guy Jack Rosenblatt. Wow, look at that. 49.99 dono. That's huge, Jack. Thank you for caring about the show, and I know you had a huge day yesterday and sharing your winnings. Thank you. It means a ton to us. Blessing our action. That's a big deal, man. Thank you. A big dono from our guy Jack Rosenblatt there. $50 dono to the show and to Pub Sports Radio. It means a ton. Thank you. Thank you very much. Edmonton Elks at Saskatchewan Roughriders, Mosaic Stadium in Regina, Saskatchewan. You still like the first half of 22? Absolutely. I got 21 and a half. Absolutely. I do. So let's break this down, though, and I'll just tell you guys why I like it so much, okay? Danny Lopez says, do we need Perky Tits to cheer you up? Get Jose in here. He'll be in here shortly. There's Chief in the house. The record 13-15 is atrocious considering the fact I went 5-0 in week 3. This is week 5. I'm going to beat CFL this year, and I'm going to start here tonight. 72 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 11 miles per hour. And look, I get why Abdi is on the Roughriders. All I've seen are Cappers on the Roughriders, and I get it. I tried to bet the Elks. I even wanted the Elks team total over 16.5. Now that was just a minus 138, and come on, minus 138. The implied probability of betting that over and over again, it's just not going to work. Billy Friedrich said it used to be great when he screamed at Jose to do better with his picks. Maybe it's time to bring that back to get hot again. And I'm with you, Jack. I'm on Gore first 5, even though Gore did look terrible last game. We'll get into that game very shortly. I don't think I believe in Jose very, very much, and it's easier to yell at your friend or colleague to succeed if you are in fact succeeding. And maybe Jose needs to yell at me right now because I'm not where I want to be in MLB. So I don't feel like I have the right to scream. I was just what was happening last year when we went on this huge run in MLB. And I was like, am I just getting, there's 2 huge things have happened in our group of cappers, and in the last year. And that's, I got my family out of Parkdale and Razor quit his job. Both of those things happened through capping. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, is this the comfort of being in a house and not being, in a government housing situation? Now our apartment wasn't government housing, but it's fucking all government housing down there. And I don't know if that edge helped me. I certainly have had colleagues tell me that I'm kinder now that I'm not living in a fucking shithole. But maybe I needed that edge to succeed. I don't know. But let's get to work here. We're going to start with the line history here for this spot. And I am really, really confident in the over in this game. Let's take a look at what we're seeing right now. Again, I got 21 and a half and 43 and a half on the total. And I kind of like the Elks to be involved here. Whether or not they can be involved for the full game, I don't know. And as I told you, I pulled my 16 and a half, a team total at minus 138. Let's take a look here at what we're dealing with. We have Edmonton opening up plus 7.5, minus 107 at Pinnacle. It's never left 7.5. It's been more juice, got to minus 115. It's still a 5-cent move over to the Elks. And you know what? I kind of like it. But, stakes are fucking high. What do you like the most? And I like the over the most. I see now 44s. Is there 44 and a half at Bet Chris? Pinnacle's moved it to 44. I saw Bet 365 at 44 today. This initial move was towards the under. Okay, so let me break down why I like it so much. Okay, Joe. No, I get it. I feel you. So here, we just watched Jarrett Dagey in control of this offense after he looked so free and comfortable in exhibition. And then when he came in, and he shouldn't have come in. I don't know why Chris Jones brought him in that Argos game. I don't know why. It just Chris Jones, that was a perplexing thing. And I should have kind of realized that Chris Jones was mind fucking these guys. And I should have not been so confident that the Elks would put up points last week. But they lose 26-7 in a loss to the Red Blacks. So there are some similarities here because Red Blacks are coming off a bye, and now you have the Roughriders coming off a bye. So yes, the Roughriders are prepared, but they could have been preparing for Dagey for all we know. We know that Taylor Cornelius will be back behind center. I think the fact that the Elks only put up 7 points and Daggy missed 2 wide open touchdowns, that score should have been higher. But the fact that they only scored 7 points helps us enormously. Okay. So it helps the total being so low. Fopatashi says Elks were favorites against Riders' first game of the season at home. Now they're dogs by TD. 10, 11 point swing less than a month later. Riders' injuries versus Elks' ineptitude, maybe too many points. Fopatashi, I love the way you put it. And I agree with you. But this is, for me, why I'm on the over. North Ender says all teams off a bye that covered last week 3-0. And Tom Leach riding with the over. But let me just talk about it. So Daggy, 19 of 33, 233 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Who cares? He's not going to be under center. Cornelius was pulled in the third quarter of the Elks 43-31 loss at home to the Argos, and it made no sense. He was 14 of 18 for 135 yards, with a touchdown pass. So I don't know why Chris Jones did that, but this is from Chris Jones. This is from him. This is him, quote unquote. We've simplified the game plan, and we're going to try and play as fast as we possibly can. If you saw the energy here at practice, it was really impressive. I can assure you that there are some teams that don't practice as fast as we did today, and I'm proud of that, or can't practice as fast as we did today. I think playing faster is the key. So if reducing what we're doing on our play card is needed, that's what we're going to do. Let's go back to what we do well and find as many of those as we possibly can. That's it for me. They're going to be flying. So that's the first key. I know that they're going to be running up to the line of scrimmage. I know that Cornelius watched the offense last game, and, star wide receiver, maybe the best wide receiver in the league, was hurt last week, healthy to go this week. So there. The Roughriders coming in off a bye. They were last seen at 29-26 overtime win at Calgary. And the Saskatchewan running game is very strong, and Trevor Harris is really comfortable now in Saskatchewan. They have some injuries to wideouts, but they have Emilius Bain and Tevin Jones. They're fine. Jamal Morrow in week 3 against the Stamps rushed for 133 yards on 22 carries. And then they have Frankie Hickson back in the lineup healthy. Morrow and Hickson are probably the best running back tandem in the league. And then you go to the Elks, who are surrendering 164 yards rushing per game on 5.7 yards per carry. So what will happen is the Roughriders will be, gashing the Elks on the ground. The Elks will be forced to put extra people in the box, and it opens up play action for Trevor Harris, and he's very good at play action. So, the Elks still don't have Woodley Opelon, linebacker with a knee injury. Their offensive line has some injuries, but they did sign a couple guys to try and fix that. A couple of vets, who I don't know how good they'll be. And Abdi says they took off 2 practices this week because of injuries and are tired. We'll see. Stimmy OG's on the Elks and the money line. Oh, if I could only bet one, I would definitely bet the full game, because if Abdi is right about exhaustion setting in from the Elks, that would be coming in the second half. So I would definitely bet full game if I could only pick one, but I want both. So here we go. I'm on the over 41.5 21.5 first half, 43.5 full game. I think that it'll help that Cornelius watched for a week. I've always felt that in NFL. If you have a struggling, or in NFL, or in any even college, like if you can sit there and watch the offense for a week, especially if you see the plays that are opening up and he said all the right things about Daggy. There's a very good vibe in that quarterback's room. But so much so that I just can't. Why am I going to sit here and take the Elks because I think they have value on them? I agree with Fopatashi that this line move is too big. Oh, I would take 44 at minus 110. 44 is not a key number to me unless you have a 24-20 win. I would cut the juice down, I think. That's what I would do. But anyone else wants to jump in, please do on where they think it's. I just think we got to cut down the juice as much as possible. And that's why I couldn't take the Elks team total at 69 minus 138. I just would cut down the VIG. But I mean, it depends how much you're betting. And TJ, you bet bigger bets. So, either is fine. All right. That is Elks, Roughriders. Let's move on to MLB. And you're right. I do look forward to capping with your next guest. He is a star here at our channel, and he's the producer of this show, and he hosts his own show. Say Hey plays today at 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. He takes Thursdays off to cap with me. And Ramos. That's funny. Look at Johnny Gunn said played against Jamal Moore in high school. A kid was so good. He made us everyone on the field look like middle schoolers. That's dope, Johnny Guns. Respect, man. Respect. Let's bring on our co-host for MLB here. Yes, AOD, it is Sweet Tea. Please welcome to the show from San Antonio, Texas, by way of Venezuela. And it was Venezuela Independence Day yesterday, and I know he was celebrating. Please welcome Jose Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea, how are you?
Good. I did get drunk last night. I can confirm that. So it should be a good day today. Going to actually, Jimmy Cab was talking about this, Dabby Malone was talking about this yesterday. He said that he's been watching me, and I've just slowly been unraveling. I'm drinking more, et cetera, et cetera. Next, I'm getting into some 8 balls, and he's excited to see my progression down the hills of depression and down into addiction. And then maybe I'll come back out of it. That's just another twist and turn in this season, perhaps.
Yes, I think we've all noticed that, but I thought you hit that low about a month ago and you're climbing out of it.
Okay, well, fair. There's always new depths we can reach. I am going technically on a 3-day bender here, 3 straight days of drinking. So watch out. Feeling ballsy. Watch out. But it's going to be a good day today. I have 2 plays locked in. One, I think we'll be on the same side of. I'm interested in your Nationals bet, of course. It'll be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. So shout out to the chat, Mally Mal, all you guys. Shout out to Mally Mal asking about my hat. It was Venezuelan WBC hat yesterday.
Well, let's get to work, my friend. I love afternoon action. So we have a lot of afternoon action here today. And I love it. Let's get to work. We start at 1:05 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds 48-39, 25-18 on the road at the Washington Nationals. 34-52, 13-30 at home. We're at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Start with the weather in Washington. 89 Fahrenheit. Feels like 96. 5.7 miles per hour right to left. Slightly out to left field. The Nationals Park plus 14% home runs, plus 18% doubles and triples, plus 15% runs here. So
shout out to Al Cervic, by the way, listening.
I love it. I love Al Cervic. Great.
What is that? What is Cervic?
That could be many things, but it's also his last name. You're
Correct.
thinking cervix.
What's that?
Don't worry. Don't you worry. You'll never see one. Let's go. Brandon Williamson going up against Mackenzie Gore here. Williamson, Gore. And I don't trust Brandon Williamson. And I don't really trust Mackenzie Gore either. I don't trust either of them. So, I get the over. Let's take a look at the cash flow here and see what we are dealing with. Now, this is, when spots like this come up, I think of Razor and Gambler's First Glance. This is a pretty wonderful situation, I think, for the betting public. We have Mackenzie Gore and the Nats opening up at minus 110 and moving to minus 125. Now, this is just nuts. I mean, this is, to me, this is what I think, and it doesn't always work out like this, but this is as easy as gambling gets. We've had a 15-cent move to the Washington Nationals. And here we have, what the hell is this? Is it really? Why are they not showing me this now? Here we go. We have, that's why. It's fucking July 5th still up here. We have 81% of the tickets coming in on the Cincinnati Reds. 81% of the tickets, and we have a 15-cent move to the Nationals. And this is just, gambling 101 here. They're opening up their arms to anybody who wants to bet the Cincinnati Reds. The books are saying, please bet the Cincinnati Reds. 19% of the tickets are on the Nationals and 71% of the cash. From a total side of things, 91% of the tickets and 82% of cash is on the over. And look, I get it. I mean, maybe that's a bet that should have been locked in, but Pinnacle has dropped it to 9.5. Now, Pinnacle opened it at 10, and it immediately went to 9.5, back up to 10, and then up to 10.5. At 8:09 this morning, this was at 10.5. So we're talking sharps came in and bet the under once it got 10.5, and they bet it big, and they've dropped it a full run. So do with that what you please. But to me, this is Brandon Williamson is going to get touched. And Mackenzie Gore is going to bounce back from that last start where he went 2 2/3, 6 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 3 walks in a 19-4 loss at the Phillies. At home, he's not been very good. So I like it's not easy, trusting him. Like I get it. 36 innings, 4.75 ERA, 303 opponents batting average. Wine Time Sports in the house. Matty Ice on the Nats team total over. North Ender says line moves and steam got crushed yesterday. Nats and Yanks closed as favorites. Cubs first 5 moved 10 cents for the Cubs. Really? When did it move 10 cents for the Cubs, North Ender? It certainly hadn't by showtime. And that's why I was so upset.
Well, I said at several points yesterday that the public was going to get fucking crushed yesterday after winning the previous day. So none of that was surprising.
Yeah, no, you did mention that many, many times for sure. So Brandon Williamson coming off a nice start at home against the Padres. He says he's not going to fade Cincy. And Mike M says that he'll die on the hill if he has to. There's nothing that makes me want to diss Nats offense. BJ's on Nationals money line. Rocco's on Lane Thomas over 1.5 total bases and a home run. Steer over 1.5 total bases and a home run. And Heimer Candelario a home run. Spenny's on Steer homer. Matt McClain and RBI. Matt McClain homer and RBI. Stone homer and Menasse's RBI. So Reds are hitting lefties much harder than the Nats. Nats bullpen's terrible. And there we go. Gambler's first glance from Razor Sharp Picks. It's fun. There's certain spots that you cap and you think about different cappers. And this was a spot where I was like, oh God, Razor is going to be all over this one. All over this one. Oh, North End says after. Okay, I feel you. Ramon says Reds have made me so much money though, and look exactly. And Mike Sam Cincy 12-0 after a road win. Look, I'm just on the Nats first 5 here. Yes, BJ, I can talk the market move one more time. Sorry, I got that. I've been staring at that fucking Bradish Severino start for too long, just out of anger. So the total has gone from 10 to 10.5 to 9.5. We've had a 15-cent move from minus 110 to minus 125 on the Nationals. And cash-wise here, you have – this is crazy. They're saying that the public is going to get violated here on this game. You have 19% of the tickets and 71% of the cash on the Nationals, 9% of the tickets and 18% of the cash on the under. Wild. Ramon says Reds team total is probably the play. Very hard to fade the Reds, says Mr. Heat. Look, I get it. And Reclaim James feeling the under. Let's hear what Jose Bouquett has to say about this one. Take it away, Jose. Reds, Nats.
Yeah, I can keep it short. I'm on the Nationals with you. I was on them first 5 yesterday. That didn't go well. But it feels like whenever you lose on a Mackenzie or a Josiah Gray start, you go back with the Mackenzie Gore start the next day, and you can make your money back. Essentially, they were only 2 pitchers on this national staff that have been backable this year. I know Mackenzie Gore's had, like people said in the chat, good start, bad start, good start, bad start. Coming off of a bad start, I like that. The issue is, Jimmy, it's funny. Obviously Reds, or I should say Nats first 5 money line is ridiculously juiced compared to the full game comparison. Minus 125 full game, obviously. Minus 143. Minus 145.
I love hearing that shit. I didn't know that.
minus 145 at
fuck.
Bovada and Bet Online. So it's tough to take the first 5 money lines.
Wow.
So it looks like I'll be having to take a first 5 minus a half even money at Bet Online here. So it's a clear indication of what the market thinks is going to happen. Some Reds first 5 love, and then maybe the Nationals first 5 love, and then the Nationals bullpen blows that shit up. So we'll see. But I like the Nationals here as well, and I'm on the first 5 minus a half with you.
Wow, it's moved 15 cents since I bet it, and God, when did I bet it? It wasn't that long ago. It feels like, even though I'm just like staring at the roof for so much of my fucking life these days. Yeah, I bet it about 9:15 this morning. So I bet it like 2 hours and 15 minutes ago. It's moved 15 cents since I bet it.
Yeah, it moved 10 cents during the conversation on Bovada. It was I opened it up. It was like minus 135, and then I opened it up 2 seconds later, all the way up to minus 145.
So you got first 5 minus a half at plus 100.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, and Jess McElvey, appreciating this Nationals cap. I appreciate you, my man, but this doesn't. There's no such thing as locks, and there's no such thing as guarantees, but we all can certainly see what the books are doing here, and so let's roll. We are locked in. I'm on the Nats first 5 money line minus 120. Jose's on the Nats first 5 minus a half at plus 100. So Jose will have a better ROI on his bet than I will if the Nats win the first 5. Joe Yurgich, Nats first 5 team total over 2.5 locked in. That's beauty. I probably should have. I don't know why I didn't just move on that as well.
that as well.
That's a good one. Okay, let's move on. Next up, 1:10 p.m. Eastern, Oakland Athletics 25-63, 13-31 on the road. Detroit Tigers 37-48, 18-23 at home, Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. What did it for me, staying off Detroit Tigers, was asking Cab about that injury and him explaining it, and then thinking, oh, God, this guy's being like Cy Young quality before the injury. That was what ended up keeping me off of this. And it helped. Now the Tigers have been shut out back-to-back games against lefties. And who do they see on the mound again? Another shit lefty. This is pretty wild stuff. And I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel a little better of the anger and the back pain that I've had.
Was it Cervic?
I do love Al Cervic. I think he's a great guy.
I wasn't talking about Al.
Okay. Al does bring a smile to my face. Okay, let's get back to Athletics Tigers. Here we go. This opened up at Penny at, where are we here? At 8.5. Opened at 8.5. Moved up to 9. So we have a move to the over. That 9 is at a pick'em in Oakland, Detroit. Matty Ice says Tigers and the under here for him.
By the way, Joe Walsh is mentioning it's raining like a motherfucker in the D right now. So just a heads up. Really? So just a heads up, Joe Walsh.
Why would it be raining so hard and not up here yet? Is it supposed to rain even up here? It's so beautiful up here. So, it is supposed to rain up here. So I guess that's coming up here.
Yep, there you go. Joe Walsh, thanks for that boots on the ground.
Yeah. That thunder shower is going to be here at 5. So what's Detroit's weather then going to be? Because I didn't see any there's no concern. There's scattered thunderstorms, but I think this game is expected to roll here. Yeah, and JW says no rain here, and he's 10 miles north of the D. I've been trying to push the move down to Windsor hard. It's not been working, but that's another point. Okay, let's go over to the money line here for this one in Detroit. So we see the total go from 8.5 to 9. And then we have this money line opening up with the Tigers minus 158. They're now minus 166. So 8 cents of movement over there. 8 cents of movement. Let's take a look at the cash flow then here for this one. We have 70% of the tickets, 61% of cash on the Tigers market, just 8 cents of movement towards them. 82% of the tickets and 75% of cash on the over. I guess I find that more appealing at this point. And there's our guy, Tone Miggins, levels played. God, Tone has just read this Phillies series like a glove. And he's on Harper Homer for a half unit. Hasn't Tone been spectacular in this Phillies-Rays series?
There's levels to this shit, as Tone would say.
Oh, he knows it, man. I've loved watching him. destroy this series. And I've loved watching the Rays lose because it's given my Orioles a chance. 5 games back now. The Orioles are going to keep coming, man.
Hey, I'm right there with you. They won't stop, and they're going to promote all their fucking guys because they know that they want to win. And you know what? They might even make a trade or two and help their team. Who would have thought?
Yeah, they'll need a pitcher. They'll need a pitcher. But yeah, man. And you saw those young guys yesterday. I mean, those guys are monsters. But let's get back to this here. Hogan Harris, a Lorenzen spot. Let's go over to the cash flow for it. And I'm curious about this cash flow. Oh, I just went over it again, didn't I? So it's 70% and 60% right now on the money line. 70% tickets, 6% cash. And again, the total 81 and 74. So the total does look live. Hogan Harris, his last start at home versus the Yankees, 4 earned runs, 5 total, 5 in the third. Did not look good. But then, a lot of people who bet the Tigers had their bets voided because it wasn't Waldekuck.
Yeah, it was Austin Pruitt.
Yeah, so like Ragu had his bets voided. So bet voided. Joey Irvin says, I love Lorenzen in this spot. Let's talk about Lorenzen. 2-6, 4.28 ERA, 1.17 whip, 82 innings, 62 Ks, 20 walks, 11 home runs. Last start, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk, and 8-5 loss at Colorado. At home, he's been good. 4.18 ERA, 263 opponent's batting average. 7 home runs allowed in 47 and a third. A's versus righties, 235, 672. Tigers versus lefties, 226, 707. That number's dropped a lot in the last 48 hours. This is all since June 1st. A's bullpen, 4.73 ERA. Tigers bullpen, 4.24 ERA. Let's just take one last look at the weather. I didn't talk about the weather in Detroit, even though we did talk about the rain. 6.7 miles per hour right to left. Opens up at 78, closes at 80 Fahrenheit. And Ballpark Pal has what to say. Ballpark Pal says Comerica's plus 1% homers and plus 11% runs. Take it away for us, Jose Bouquett. By the way, TJ says first 5 under is a strong lean for him. Says Detroit not hitting lefties. Lorenzen is trending correctly for me. Wanted to see if Noli was here. I feel you. Take it away for us here, Jose. An interesting one. A's, Tigers.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing as everyone in the chat, so it seems like we're all just kind of vibing right now. First 5 under. I don't have it officially made here yet, but I wrote it down the same. And I was very interested in it. And I don't know if you mentioned the market here for the total, but that's the thing that's really kept me off of it so far. No movement on it, on my side at least. And on action, it says it opened at 9 and is still at 9 here. 81% of the bets and 74% of the money on the over, and it's just not moved anything. So I'm very interested on the first 5 under here. I think Hogan Harris can put together a decent performance against a Tigers team that we know doesn't hit lefties all that great. Last 2 weeks, 22nd, 83 weighted runs created plus, and 216 plate appearances. So I like first 5 under here. And this might be another day where maybe the public just gets fucking wrecked again. Savage raked over the coals. Or I forgot what you said, or violated. Yes, they might get violated here today. Who knows? But I like the first 5 under. I'm just not sure if I'm going to make it official yet.
I think we've had a legit move to the over on the full game. 8.5 to 9, and the 9 is a pick 'em. The 8.5 opened up 107 to the over, 105 to the under, so it wasn't even juiced to the over. So that's a legit move to me. But let's go over to the first 5 and see what. And we won't get to, for whatever reason. Oh no. Now we get to see what Pinnacle's doing with this total on the 5. I don't know why I didn't think that was going to happen. So let's take a look at this total because maybe there's no movement here. There has been. This opened up at 4.5. Now, this 4.5 was quite juiced to the over at minus 121. So that's a little different than the other. But this opened up at 4.5 and moved to 5. When it moved to 5 at 11:53 p.m., the over was plus 106. Right now, the over is plus 102. So they're much less movement on the first 5 than the full game.
Yeah, I'll probably stay off. I lean first 5 under. I just don't trust these pitchers at the end of the day. Hogan Harris, not a guy I typically want my money on, and Michael Lorenzen's been getting shit on for the last week for being an all-star. I'll be interested to see if he can go out there and have a all-star type performance. So nothing for me.
The 3rd game in a row that they see a lefty and they're not going to hit him. I mean, we weren't saying that the Tigers couldn't hit lefties 48 hours ago.
It's right. 24th, or should I say 22nd full season, 91 or 94 weighted runs created plus. Still not bad.
Watch this. If we go back 48 hours, okay, so since June 1st, the Tigers are hitting 226, 707 versus lefties. But let's go back 48 hours. And here, let me just pull up my. So what is this? Tuesday, July 4th. Tuesday, July 4th. The Tigers came in. So they came into the series. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Let me get to find this. God, there's so many pages of notes here. They came into the series. They came into the series hitting 232 with a 745 OPS versus lefties. I mean, that OPS has dropped 38 points in 2 games. You know what? I think the Tigers are the play here. Their third game after not, touching a lefty. Now you get your third opportunity at it. Let me just go over this quickly because this is, obviously
I was
important.
curious to see what lefties they faced before this recently.
Yeah, who?
Friday on the 30th, they faced Austin Gomber, and he shoved it down their fucking ass.
Wow.
7 innings of 2 earned run ball. So, yeah.
What about before that?
I'm good. I'm still looking back,
Okay.
Because that was their last Coors. Their last series was in Coors. So I was like, maybe they ate off of some lefties in Coors. But no, they actually just got touched up by them. So.
Okay. You know what? I'm just going to stay off of it. That's enough. There's my guy Jay's final take. I didn't realize that. I know that we don't want to be sitting here for too long on this fucking garbage fire bum fight, but who was before Gom? I guess what am I trying to do here? So now that means 3 shit lefties have shut them down.
I think you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong here. Cody Bradford, believe he's a lefty. 4 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks against the Tigers there. That was in their Detroit, and that was in the Rangers series. And I still think that's a pretty good start for fucking Cody Bradford, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stay off of it. But, and the let your nuts hang play of the day is Brewers first 5. Brewers first 5 at plus 105. Thank you for sharing that with us. I guess it doesn't fully work my idea because if Gomber shut them down, then fuck am I talking about?
In Coors, which is the surprising part about it too.
Right.
By the way, Piker bringing up an excellent point. Jimmy, I'm sure this is a question to you. You ever get a left-handed handy? Looks perfect.
Oh, all right. Let me just get this here. All right. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. It says
left-handed handy for me is just every day.
All right. Let's stay focused here and move on to the next spot on the board. I'm going to have to stay off of it, but, Okay, next up for us, perfect timing for our guy Jay's final take. He is on the Brewers first 5 at plus 105. And cash flow play today from 101 Benny is also on the Brewers. Morgan Spooner's on the other side. I cannot trust this Cubs offense. Now, they were fortunate with that error, too. And that. But look, I mean, they did it against Devin Williams. They did it against a top closer who has been a little vulnerable in the last month or so. And it looks a little better with Jared Young out there. But still, Morgan Spooner just likes Cubs side today. Off a bad start for Stroh. Finger injuries a non-factor. No pitch count. And Gomes is in the lineup. Might look at Freddie's case with Wisdom and Morel in the lineup. I like that, Morgan. Let's break this one down. So roof, I imagine it's going to be hot and the roof is going to be closed. Let me just verify that here. Maybe not. I bet you the roof's open here, but it doesn't change much. But the roof will be open. 76 Fahrenheit, 6.6 miles per hour left to right. I'd love if somebody in Milwaukee can confirm that they are opening the roof because I know some people were saying that they don't open the roof regularly. But I expect the roof to be open. If it is open, and obviously this is crucial information that is difficult to get. It's plus 12% home runs and minus 1% runs. So not a big deal there. Wine Time says I had Brewers to close out a plus 700 parlay. Did just for fun. They completely turned. Oh, I know that awful. Troy says Dansby grounded into 2 double plays. Runners in scoring position. Both had exit velocity north of 100. I didn't realize the exit velocity was north of 100. TJ says dead under here. Everyone's saying Stroh bad a couple straight, but really his FIP has been consistent with all previous starts. Fielding let him down. Peralta excellent. Batter versus pitcher versus Cubs lineup. Under. Look, I get that the under is in play. My problem was just that I'd missed it. I felt like I'd missed it. Let's review all here. with the and this Cubs bullpen's pitching really, really well. So let's review line history here. Oh shit, that's Bet Chris, which is still good. But let's go with Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened this up with the Brew Crew at minus 100. They're now minus 109. 9-cent move to the Brew Crew and this move to the under, which tells me that Peralta will be good here. Let's take a look at this total. This total opened up at net. Wow, some of these dodgy books have even moved at 7.5. And Penny moved at 7.5 at 2 a.m. But this opened up at 8.5 and was there till 10:15 last night. And it was my own bullshit with Freddie Peralta and just not trusting him as much as I usually do. That is the reason why I didn't move on it. This went down to 7.5 at 2 a.m. It's back at 8. So it's moved a full or a half run. So we have a move to the under and a move to the Brewers. Let's pull up the cash flow then. You have 63% of the tickets and 58% of the cash on the under. I figure the under is a nice spot to be on. Then you have 32% of the tickets and 49% of the cash on the Brewers. It tells me the Brew Crew is live. Dave Redling says games in Milwaukee are like home games for the Cubbies. That's an important point. Rocco on the Peralta over 6.5. And Mike M laddering Stroman strikeouts. Mike M says Stroman coming off a couple of bad, feels like a bounce back spot, especially looking towards an under. So Strosho has a great season, all-star, 2.76 ERA, 1.09 whip, coming off that 6-0 loss at home to the Guardians where he didn't look good. On the road, he's been very good, 2.70 ERA, 242 opponents batting average. He's allowed one solitary home run in 50 innings on the road. Freddie Peralta just hasn't looked quite as strong here. Last start at the Pirates, 5 1/3, 3 earned runs. At home, he's a 3.75 ERA, but just a 209 opponents batting average, 58 Ks in 48 innings. The Cubs are not hitting righties, 246-83. The Brewers are not hitting righties, 223-656. Cubs bullpen's been very good. Brewers bullpen had been a little better until the letdown yesterday. Piker says Cubs are the play. Had them capped at minus 135, lean under as well. Perky Sanderson says he's going to grab his nutsack and hope the Reds win. And
wow,
that's another way of doing it. Take it away for us here, Jose. Cubbies, Brew Crew.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with everyone again. Unders here, it just kind of makes sense to me. And I'm a little hesitant, I guess, because, yesterday the public gets fucking crushed, and I'm just trying not to walk into those obvious plays here. But yeah, first 5 in full game unders were definitely looks for me here. First 5 under 4 minus 116 and full game under 8 minus 115. You mentioned the 8.5. I would have loved to got an 8.5 here, but I don't know. It just seems like a spot where both pitchers get right here. And shout out to my guy BJ, I believe it was, who mentioned this. Brewers play the Reds tomorrow, I believe, starting tomorrow in a gigantic series for them in a spot which maybe is a look ahead spot for them. Who knows? I just like them. Lack of offense here today. You mentioned as well with both offenses struggling. Last 2 weeks against righties, 25th. Are the Brewers 83 weighted runs created plus. The Cubs are 20th, 96 weighted runs created plus. I like the under here, but I'm just sitting here kind of a little shaky. I don't know. I would guess I would prefer your classic 30% of tickets, 70% of money spots, but you can't always be that lucky. So I'm still looking at the under.
Yeah, so am I. Let's just review how many. So was Devin Williams, I imagine, just pitched in both games, right? So let's just go over who was used from the bullpen. For the Cubs, they had Merriweather, Leiter, Alzolay, and Palencia 2 nights ago. Then the Brew Crew had Wilson, Milner, Bukowskis, Peguero, and Andrews.
I don't expect the Brewers to throw their big dogs here again because Red series tomorrow.
Yeah, and that was just I imagine then that Devin Williams can pitch again because just let me I'll be done here in a second. I'm sorry for harping on this game a little longer than maybe you guys would like to, but I just want to see then yesterday Steele, Rucker, Alzolay, so Alzolay won't be available for sure. And the Brewers used Milner again, so he won't be available. They used Maya for an out, so he'll be available. Payomps, Devin Williams. So you know what? And Codrino says that makes him like the Cubs even more. You know what? I guess there's been some. I mean, I see this going both ways, Coach. Although, not having Milner available hurts them for sure. I wish, the only way to bet the first 3 would be to take it down to 1.5, for a big score. I don't know if that's worth it. It's plus 165. I don't want to do that. And then I think the first 5 under 4 makes sense. I just want to see quickly here. And I didn't write down your stats. I was kind of deciding myself what I was going to do. So I got to write down your action here in a second. This is the last thing I will look at, and then we will move past it here. I just want to look at what market movement has happened at Pinnacle at this 4. So this opened up at 4.5, and it lasted there for 39 or 38 minutes. Moved to 4. That 4 was plus 107 to the under, and this 4 is now juiced. I'm gonna have to anyway. So I'm gonna bet this right now. I'm gonna take the first 5 under 4 here.
I am too, minus 116.
Okay, so Jose, you have the first 5 under 4. Well, I can give you minus 110 just for record keeping purposes because that's available right now at Bet365. I'm about to bet it. And what are you doing for full game?
I'm staying off the full game.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be right there with you. I'm going to bet it right now, and I would like to actually get it in right this very second and not start the double header between the Jays and the White Sox. So why don't you get us started with Jays White Sox here? Game 1, we capped this yesterday with Barrios and Lance Lynn, and I want to keep with my plan, and that is to back Lance Lynn here. TJ says I don't see the cash being correct on totals as much as sides run lines. Says I've been only analyzing daily for a couple months now, but wow.
That was my kind of first impression too, TJ.
It says over 50% cash on sites and run lines, but totals is another story. Yeah, and I think Troy's talked about that as well as he's been building his database. One of the things about Troy that's going to be a lot of fun is capping with him in 15 or 20 years after this database is that deep. I think it's going to be extremely helpful. That's why I didn't take a shot at Kraken because I want to be here for those days. Jose, take it away. I want to get this bet in.
Yes, do your thing. By the way, Troy Torrance joining Say Hey Plays on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
That'll be very interesting. The last Say Hey Plays before the All-Star break, and Troy will break us in there, so that'll be a whole lot of fun. But White Sox, Blue Jays here. Let's talk about Jose Barrios versus Lance Lynn. Fathers and sons disagree on certain things. This is one of those things that we disagree on. I can't stand Lance Lynn. I actively look to fade him all the time. And, most of the time he'll give up his runs, but he'll dazzle, et cetera, et cetera. I just never end up trusting him enough to back him here. I've backed him once this entire year, and it was during a weird line kind of thing. We cashed on him, thankfully, so that was cool. But Jose Barrios is another guy that I just don't trust, especially on the road. So everything in this game screamed over to me. But unfortunately, everyone in America thought the same thing as well here. Obviously, the market is a little tougher to use in this game because, rain delay, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's a doubleheader. But the market here, 72% of the bets and 99% of the money on the over 9 here. So that kept me off of it completely. Honestly, makes me want to bet the under more. Just because, I think those 99% spots are just not profitable. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Lynn went out here and dazzled a Blue Jays lineup that, better than me, but we see them ranked super high in the hitting stats every year, it seems now. And it just never seems like it translates onto the field. Every once in a while they'll score their 20 runs, but I ultimately leaned under in this game, actually, with all that money on the over. But I passed here. All the money or the line movement towards the Blue Jays kept me off sidewise.
Viper makes me laugh so hard. And so does Perky. Oh, Perky Sanderson says, and he's the third Perky Sanderson. There was, his grandfather.
Of course.
First Perky Sanderson, then his father.
Of course. You haven't heard of Perky number 1?
No, of course I have.
Okay.
Of course I have. And he needs a huge win to save his marriage. But he also needs the child support.
Well, that is kind of contradictory.
Yeah, it sounds like that the marriage.
One marriage is done and maybe another one's blossoming.
Oh, you figured it out. This is the second family he's lost.
Yeah, everyone has a secret family, right?
No, just.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. Sorry, Helga.
Yeah, just overweight pitchers. That's all we know of. They have secret families. There's hipster Jesus in the house. All right, so
Fucked up, Jimmy, that you don't give me your support all the time. I'm a struggling pitcher. I sucked ass. So bad, I barely made my high school team. That should garner all your support.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't. I don't know why. I don't know why there's no compassion there at all.
Fair.
Oh, look at Piker killed his secret family out of respect for his primary one.
Wow, the Chris Benoit. I see you, Piker.
Mally Mouse says Lance Lynn time is up. I don't think it is.
He's gonna get traded, and he's gonna pitch well when he gets traded. I can't wait to watch that. That's gonna be fucking hilarious.
This is not a bet on Lance Lynn. I think that Barrios is laboring out there, and I love what he's done this year. He's been excellent, but I feel like he's laboring. I saw it firsthand, in his last start. I watched it, and I was like, look, it's so. Then the main thing though is okay. We had the lineup come out yesterday, and Varsho is not even in the lineup. And, lefties are hitting 345 with a 1.054 OPS. I don't know how we made that Varsho trade in the offseason. Just absolute trash.
That's what happens. You don't trade away Venezuelans. I keep trying to tell people that. Ron DeSantis can't figure that out too. So we have to bring in more Venezuelans.
But this is just simply not the lineup that's going to attack Lance Lynn. It's just not that lineup. Look, at this point, the lineup's up. No, it's not. This is the expected lineup, and this can't be this. But this, as Kiermaier is the only left-handed bat, they can't do that. I mean, that's just ridiculous if they do.
I'd have some questions about your manager.
Coach Reno says it was a great trade, Jimmy. Yeah, for you guys. Okay, but with all that being said, and TJ said we didn't discuss lineups, especially important in the Detroit game in his opinion. He says Ruiz is not in the lineup and can't hit. Kemp is leading off, helping the first 5 under in his opinion. You're absolutely right, TJ. We should have.
And plus, that's a day game, and we all know Tony Kemp, when the sun's out, he's not fucking hitting.
Yeah,
it's my favorite stat in all of baseball right now. Tony Kemp day-night splits, just hilarious.
All right, so look, I'm going to be on the White Sox first 5 here with confidence. White Sox, I'm not going to double up or anything like that, but I'm going to be on the White Sox first 5. And 101 Benny says, Toronto bats Hitlin. And his Ks are over 6.5 plus 120. Got to fade him after back-to-back 7K games. Look, I get it. We went over the batter versus pitcher stuff yesterday pretty heavy. But I have confidence in Lynn against righties. So
he's in your rotation.
He is.
Yeah.
And this rotation's not been good this season.
No, unfortunately not.
All right, so that's that. I'm on White Sox first 5. Jose, what are you on here?
Nothing.
Game 2, Toronto Blue Jays at Chicago White Sox, guaranteed rate field in Chicago, Illinois. Oh, we didn't do the line history, and we can do that for game 1 because Pinnacle has started it back up from. Oh wait, or is it just Bet Chris that did that? The first 5s moved 6 cents this morning towards the White Sox at Bet Chris, and this is again for game 1 here over here at Penny. Are they going to show us when it came out? No, again. So just this morning. Good. I hate when they complicate things. There's been 6 cents of movement to the White Sox since it came out at 8:40 this morning.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm very comfortable with all of that. Let's move on to game 2 here. And are they not going? It's not. There's no lines out here for any of those.
No pitcher for the White Sox.
I think we know who it is. At least Jesse Scholtens is going to have a big part in this game, whether or not he starts or he's the primary. And and he's a pretty good journeyman pitcher. And we can go over him here. He was drafted in the 9th round by the Padres 2016 draft out of Wright State University. And I was pretty impressed with his numbers. One of the things he has done is gone down to the Dominican Winter League, and the first time he went down to the Dominican Winter League, he got just lit up. This past year that he went down to the Dominican Winter League, he was awesome. Absolutely lights out awesome.
I respect any white guy that goes to the Dominican League.
And I kind of like the fact that he got lit up that first time he went in, and he came back as an older pitcher and just was excellent. In AAA Charlotte, he's not been very good this year. 2-2, 4.44 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, not bad. 45 Ks, 13 walks, over 46-2. But here in the show, he's been good. He's pitched in 10 games. He started 1. He's thrown 27 in the third innings. He's a 2.96 ERA and a 1.061 WHIP.
How long is he going in those starts or those outings? I should say.
The last 2 outings were not starts. He went 4 innings in each.
Because Billy Friedrich's dropping some Tuki Toussaint in here as well, that he might get some play in this as well. So maybe we'll see both. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then Tuki obviously is going to need extra time. By the way, Joe Yurkovich on Cubs first 5 team total over 1.5 and full game over 3.5 locked in. So no concern there. And there's our guy Cheech Marina is going to play the main event today.
Cheech
starts in a couple hours. Good luck today, everyone. Oh man, that's so exciting. Cheech will be cheering for you heavy. Our guy Cheech Marina's. Oh man, cheering for you heavy. If you could put out a tweet, Cheech, that we could all retweet for you, just to build up some excitement for all of us, please do.
Yeah, I wish there was a way we could just follow the action better.
And look at TJ says the under now 4.5 juiced hard. It was 5 when we were discussing it for the Detroit game.
That's classic right there.
Wow. All right. Billy Friedrich says Toussaint for 2, then Schultens for 4, and perhaps a Brian Shaw appearance. So then I guess we're going to need time to see what the line is and all that stuff. But the question will be your expectation on Yusei Kikuchi. He's coming off a tough start. He does look a little. Well, I mean, I watched him in person look spectacular with the family against the A's.
What did Carter think?
It's Ella's favorite player is Yusei Kikuchi.
Oh, there you go.
Favorite player.
Garcia.
And she's brought it up a few times. Like she's like, how's my Japanese pitcher doing? I swear. So, but he did not look good at home against the Red Sox last start. The White Sox since June 1st are hitting 241, 662 versus lefties. And then our guy Billy Friedrich, who watches them hit all the time, was saying that they're hitting lefties. Can you pull up their numbers against lefties in the last 14 days?
Sure. Wait until she sees Ohtani, man. Shit.
Oh, I know. She doesn't seem to care. I point out Ohtani nonstop. I'm like, look, this is the best player who's ever played. She couldn't care less.
You say Kikuchi, baby.
Yeah,
yeah. That's hilarious. I could give you last, I think it's like last 2.5, last 3 weeks. They're 14th actually, set 97 weighted runs created plus against left-handed pitchers. Full season, they're 17th, 101. So they're about average now. They used to be really, really bad. And they've gotten a lot better recently.
Molly Mouse says Jay's going to smack his ass, bro. I don't know what we're going to do a game 2. I don't know what I'm going to do a game 2. I can tell you I'm going to be on the White Sox in game 1. And I don't really know what to do with Kikuchi, in all honesty.
Plop Ella in front of the TV and watch the master cook. That's what you do.
All right. I'm off of the spot, though, but I will be studying it while I watch game 1. Let's move on here. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Phillies at Tampa Bay Rays here. And Tone Miggins has given us his levels play today. Phillies money line for 2 units and Harper Homer at plus 470. And Tone Miggins has written the script for this. Now, I have futures on the Phillies. I did it after the Astros series. There's something about this way early in the year. There's something about this Phillies team that they play up to the level of competition.
Facts.
And I think they're going to be a problem in the playoffs again this year. I think they're going to be an issue, and I'm excited that I have some money on them at huge, huge prices.
They definitely have the playoff recipe. I mean, 3 good starters. You've got your experienced dudes that hit bombs. They've got the recipe.
So let's discuss this spot. So we're in Tampa, so we don't need to talk weather. Let's talk line history, though, here. Full game, money line, and Tone Miggins going back to the well. And I heard somebody else saying, expecting the Rays to look bad here coming to All-Star break. It just makes me so happy.
By the way, Philadelphia, TJ's gift.
Are you serious?
Yep. This is going to be it's going to be a hell of a game here.
Wow.
And by the way, I just looked up where the Phillies are wild card standings wise. You need one of those AL Central or NL Central teams to fall off here. You've got some bodies in front of you, unfortunately, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, they're just starting to heat up right now. I'm comfortable with it. 1777 memorabilia says Phillies don't have very good record versus winning teams. So I think people will look at them in the playoffs because they went to the World Series last year. I just been watching them against the best teams. So you're right, winning teams, I don't have that in front, but against the best teams, because they were under 500 when they went into that series in Houston, and they in Houston they just cleaned them up. So
you want to know their record against teams above 500 this year?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
It's shocking. It's really bad. 19-27.
Jesus, that is bad. 19-27.
Above.
So I just have the vividness of the Rays and Astros.
Well, I'll tell you, their expected win-loss is 500, 42-41, and they're 44-39 right now. So that's interesting.
They're 46-39.
They are 44-39.
I wrote it in wrong?
Yeah, I'm looking at the standings currently. Oh, no, I refreshed. Just kidding. I don't know what's wrong with this.
Thank you.
No, you're good.
All right, let's get back to work here. Christopher Sanchez, the lefty, going up against Sean Armstrong. So the Rays opened up -131. They're now -133 from a total perspective here.
Oh, okay. Good. All right.
From a total perspective here, they opened up at a 9 and went up to 9.5, back down to 9, and they're back at 9.5. That last move was 12 minutes ago to 9.5. So we have a move towards the over. A move towards the over and 2 cents a move to the Rays. Let's take a look at the cash flow. I would like to get involved in this here. It's 50-50. 55% of the tickets on the Rays, 50% of the cash. Now, this is a problem that I have here. When I see a team on a winning streak and my friends cashing on them, I just don't want to be late to that fucking party.
I get it.
32% of the tickets, 59% cash on the under. Now 32% tickets, 65% of the cash on the under, and it's moved to the over. I just would just beat myself up if I was, but I like Christopher Sanchez. I'll start there. 0-2, 3.26 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 19 1/3, 20 Ks. He's allowed 2 jacks. That was a nice start at home in his last one. 1 earned run over 6 innings. And then we have a bullpen day for the Rays, and this Rays bullpen has been pitching well before this series. The Rays are not hitting lefties. They're not hitting them at all. It's
shocking. Last 2 weeks, it's appalling.
Yeah, and since June 1st, so even bigger sample size, 237, 619 OPS. Phillies are hitting 268, 765 OPS. Why wouldn't we go back to the well with the Phillies? Jose?
Well, I told you before the show, I don't know what to do with this Phillies team. I felt like that this whole year. I don't know when to bet on them, when to bet against them. I even looked up right before the show just to prove my point here. I have not bet a Phillies game since June 16th. I have just completely stayed off of all of them, not bet on or against them. And by the way, that last bet, of course, I lost against them too. So I really don't know what to do with them either. I can see why you guys are on the Phillies here. And by the way, Jimmy, just to make you feel better, that record against 500 teams now that I refreshed, 21-27. So not as bad.
Still, I guess I had a real vividness, but it's funny how you can kind of have your own biases that have nothing to do with the actual numbers here.
And I get what you're saying too, because the Phillies are a very NBA team in the sense that get us to the playoffs and then we can cook. They don't care if they win the division because they've already not won the division and gone through before. They have their 3 guys, they've got their star players. It's very, very NBA-esque. Team here, but and it's funny that the Rays are the exact opposite team in that aspect as well. But I just never know what to do with them. So I stay off these games. Joe Yurkovich, by the way, great stat here. Philly has won 11 straight road games. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
what Ron Walsek said right off the hop. Ron Walsek was one of the very first commenters on the show. Mentioned that.
And that's something you want in the postseason. I'll tell you that. Good road teams in the postseason. That's the good shit.
I was very fortunate to not, again, it's it's almost better off not betting any futures because they kind of mess with your head as you
100%. That's what I learned last year too. That's why I only have 2.
and that's why I didn't take the Yankees with everybody yesterday. It was because of my own futures, and I just and then I wasn't sure what Vasquez was going to do, and that was a mistake. But the gift is 22-10 plus 11.93 units with a 34% ROI, average line minus 105, and I will be joining not only the gift but the levels play of the day. I will be on Phillies here. Londo says, "Do you like the over?" I'm a little uncomfortable with the over, with the way the Rays are hitting lefties, with the Phillies pen being unbelievable over the last couple of weeks, and the Rays bullpen very strong and a bullpen day. So I'm just going to stay away from the total here, but I'm going to and Joe Yerv says Rays incredible home record due to regress, and it's in the middle of that now. And Piker saying Tampa is line value center today. They got 11 players at or above the league average in homers. I'm not afraid of Philly here. Give me the short price. I've got them at minus 180. So not everybody on the same side.
Typically
here.
a good thing, though.
Yes, I agree. Okay, let's move on. Next up for us, 6:40 p.m. Eastern, St. Louis Cardinals 35-51, 18-26 on the road. Edmonton, Miami Marlins 51-37, 28-16 at home. Lone Depot Park of Miami, Florida. Everybody who watched St. Louis fall apart again yesterday, where they showed so much character.
God,
they showed so much character to get back in that game.
I can't quit these fucking Cardinals, man. Every time they just show me a little glimpse. I'm like, maybe they can come back. And then, of course, I'm glad I took the over in the game yesterday, cashed it, no sweat. But admittedly, I want to see the Cardinals come back in this division and show something. But there's nothing for us.
Oh, God. I don't know how they can show up at the ballpark.
Yeah.
After that loss yesterday, I mean, everything, like Hicks is throwing 102. It doesn't matter.
No, they're all of their bullpen throws so fucking hard, and it does not matter even a little bit. Their bullpen sucks. It's sad, and it's hilarious just watching them. Of course, the best part about it is their pitcher. I'm pretty sure is their pitcher just fucking skying that ball.
Alfred does it. Alfred puts it perfectly. This is that. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, imagine walking into their clubhouse right now. That thing's a fucking morgue. Imagine who do you want to be right now? The fucking Cardinals or the Reds clubhouse? It's crazy.
Oh, it reminds me of what's that guy's name again who wrote This is a Sinking Ship? Hildebrand This is a Sinking Ship. He wrote it on the Blue Jays chalkboard.
I do not know this.
Hillenbrand. I said Hildebrand.
Shea
Hillenbrand. Yeah. Shea Hillenbrand walks in the clubhouse, writes, "This is a sinking ship," and then go gets himself a coffee.
What a thug.
Yeah.
That's that guy.
TJ says, when are Cappers going to catch up that Miami is good and St. Louis is bad? This is a short price.
I mean, I thought the same thing here, and I thought that as well. And I was like, are we really going to take this short price with the Marlins here? I thought Marlins -1, et cetera. But I've been so bad with size recently that I'm just kind of sticking with totals, to be honest. And I mean, everyone look at these pitchers, and where we're all going with this. First 5 under here was my look here. -105, first 5 under 4, Jim. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinion on that.
Well, I think Yuri Perez bounces back here. I think it's a pretty easy thing to say at home, where he's been unbelievable. 26 2/3, 1.01 ERA, 186 opponent's batting average. But I'm so at a loss with the Cardinals that I haven't hammered it yet here.
It's so weird. Their numbers hitting wise recently are good. Like last 2 weeks, 4th, 130 weighted runs created plus, great.
And look at them.
It's still like you still don't want to back them ever. You still don't trust their offense to show up. The total's still at an 8 for a reason.
Cardinals versus righty since June 1st, so even stretch back there, 264 and a 794 OPS. Well, you got to be a few games over 500 in that stretch, right? Mike M says Cards are in a 15-0 spot today. Says he had to double check it because he couldn't believe they had a trend like that going. Then you have Joe Yurkovich giving us the signal, and this is a signal that our Noli Knows has started, and it's catching on. I love it. For the dead under, giving us the skull. JW says kind of likes that under in Miami. St. Louis.
Why wouldn't you? Again, I'm worried about this just being an obvious play, and we can talk to the market here real quick because I remember the market at least made me feel better about this spot, and this is the one spot I've made 2 bets and this is the other one that I've made here, and we'll talk Red Sox here later, but 73% of the bets and 27% of the money on the over. You know, it makes me feel better being on that 30-70 spot like we talk about. It's been 8. According to action, it's opened at 8, still at 8. So I'm a little concerned.
Well, I'll tell you more than that. It opened at 8, and the money, early money, which we all agree, even with limits, is probably sharper money. It moved 8.5. Yeah. And it was at 8.5 up until 4 hours ago. Moved back to 8. So that's a good sign that moved back to 8. So there's been 6 cents of movement. 6 cents of movement. Let's take a look at the money line here.
Mm-hmm. And Billy, by the way, mentioning I'd only want to take first 5 here. No fucking chance am I trusting either bullpen.
Well, I don't mind the Marlins bullpen as much, but then we have a 9-cent move to the Cardinals. So I do want to take a look at what the first 5 is, but let's just go over that cash once again. So 27% of the tickets, 74% of tickets on the under. And yet the first move was towards 8.5, which is going to keep me off of the full game, like we've discussed. Then you have 83% of the tickets and 73% of the cash on the Marlins, and yet we have a move towards the Cardinals.
Ugh, that's sickening.
That's tricky. And I know that some people like TJ can just say, "Are you seeing what I'm seeing?" And that's a totally fair thing to say, but I don't think that. I think this is a great card today. I think we're going to be able to make money here, and I don't know if I move on this one. Also, this total here for the first 5 opened up at 4.5. It was at 4.5 until 9:11 this morning, and then it moves to 4, and it's juiced pretty heavy to the over. So a little frustrated that I didn't get that. And then you have to ask yourself, why would it be 4? You know what? Why would it? I've opened at 4.5 with the way Flaherty coming off a great start at home to the Yankees. He's been much better on the road than he's been at home this year. So, Joe Yervin says Perez is one of the 20% of pitchers that would actually make a difference. The other 80% you can throw in a blender, he says. Troy Torrance says, consider me talked off. That could mean many different things, but here it means he's not going to bet. Vitalis says, love the Marlins bats versus Flaherty's 4.44x FIP. Also, home teams that hold 80% bet percentage this season are 68% win rate, and that information provided by Troy Torrance. Spending on Paul Goldschmidt, plus 450, RBI plus 165. And, you know, I find that first 5 very interesting. I hate the fact that I missed the 4.5. And I was thinking that possibly Bet365 would be hanging it with a minus 125. They're not. Only, I don't. Oh God, what was the weather? Sorry, let's go. Oh no, of course it's Miami. There's no weather. The roof's closed. I guess I like the first 5. Did you? So you bet the first 5 under 4?
Yeah, 4 minus 105 for me here officially. And by the way, our friends at Bovada, if you're interested, the 4 is 4.5 minus 145.
Minus 145. That's way too expensive. Let's just see what it is here.
And by the way, Troy dropping a Yuri can't throw off speed for strikes. Obviously, that's important, and the veterans will sit on fastballs all day. I'm very certain that's exactly what the fucking Atlanta Braves did. So just sit there and wait. We'll see here. I mean, we've seen guys like Bryce Miller. Both of those guys had like 8 earned run, 7 earned run performances, and then they followed it with another 7 run earned run performance there, and then they figured their shit out. So I'll be interested to see what happens here with Yuri, and I'm definitely concerned with my first 5 under here. Definitely worried, not my most confident spot, but just Yuri Perez off a bad start. I think he can go out there and obviously bounce back, and then Jack Flaherty has just been good. Marlins offense isn't that great to begin with, but we'll see here. I like the under, and we're going to ride with it.
Okay. I guess I stay off. I mean, I'm surprised they opened it at 4.5. Why would they open it at 4.5? They know they're going to get all this under cash. But then they showed at least concern by moving it to 4. But again, they didn't move it to 4 until... When did I say? Till 9 this morning.
And we've talked about how Yuri Perez is eventually going to get innings limited or whatever. I'm the lone person that thinks that maybe they let him eat and pitch through the playoffs and all that stuff. But I told you this the other day, and it was funny that, of course, he blows up immediately when we talk about this. He has already hit his career high in innings pitched, and it wasn't even particularly close. It was only like 80 innings pitched for his career was his most in one season. And now he's at 41 plus 31, 4, 5, 6, 7, 78. There we go. 78 innings pitched there. And his career high was 75. So, we talk about it. Once that young pitcher hits that innings limit or hits that career high, they probably start giving you diminished returns. After that, I'll be interested to see how he handles it. And how the Marlins will deal with it as well. And I guess the Reds too, because the Reds have Andrew Abbott. Andrew Abbott's been just as good as Yuri Perez, honestly. So I'll be interested to see how they do that. A fake IL stint, whatever they do to get them moving and closer to October. But it's worrisome to bet on a guy over his career high in innings pitched so far.
Oh, that's a really fun cap, and I hate coming out of it with squat, but that's the case.
If it makes you feel better, I hate coming out of it with the first 5 under 4.
It doesn't make me feel better at all. Let's move on to 7:05 p.m. Baltimore Orioles, New York Yankees. A lot of you guys have said to me in baseball that you need to trust your capping, and this was a situation that just really got me. This is the change in my baseball capping now and it was same last year. And I hate it. I hate what it does to my life. I hate what it does to my fucking back. But I need to be capping all these games all night. As soon as I can get Ella and Carter down, I need to sit there in the fucking dark with the game. And then the games are going on. You're following your action, but you need to cap all these games. And I was just so stressed out last night. And I missed this move at 11:08 p.m. And had I have seen it, I would have the Orioles at a great price. But last Friday, I thought that I had a great spot on the Orioles, and it was against Pablo Lopez, who's now we see what he's doing, and it was a huge mistake. And Matty Ice was on it, the spreadsheet was on it, I was on it. I bet it the night before. I woke up and there was no movement. And the public was with me on the Orioles, and Gambler's First Glance came out, and it was the Twins. And that was in my head, and I was like, there was a 1 cent move towards the Yankees, and I was like, well, I guess I got to just wait and see what happens. There was a 9 cent move at 11:08 p.m., and somehow I missed it. I guess I got caught up in the games that were going on. Now, there was 5 cents of buyback at 12:10, but it wouldn't have mattered. That was the move I needed to see, and I didn't see. I had a chance to get in on the Orioles at either -110 or -115. I didn't. Right now, the Orioles are up to -127. They were up to -130 and -135 at Bet365, and it made me want to throw my computer. And Troy Torrance says, I feel that I'm concerned about transitioning from baseball to football. It may be so distracting. I don't know. Look, I love what we do. It's just there's times where, you're going to have sleepless nights. But I love what we do, and I don't want anyone to, take it the wrong way. I love this shit, but fuck. So I wish I was on Orioles first 5. At -115, Orioles first 5, I think is a great bet. At -130 or -135, I can't bet it. I just don't think the implied probability is high enough, as a volume better. This is actually -140 at Bet365 right now. That makes me want to pick my computer up and fucking smash it. Let's talk about the weather here. Here in Baltimore, in New York. God damn it, makes me angry. 83 Fahrenheit, 9 miles per hour, right to left, slightly in. It's now 7 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the Ballpark Pal expectations of Yankee Stadium. We have a 26% plus 26% home runs plus 8% runs. And then we'll go over to the line history. I've already explained the move towards the Orioles, but I haven't talked about the total. So let's get this total up here for Yankees Orioles. This total opened up at 9. Oh, excuse me. Yes, it opened up at 9. Lasted for 3 minutes before it hit 8.5. So then, and I knew that. And so I guess at that point I was thinking, well, I guess the market's saying that Severino's going to have a good start. And then, oh God. So then it moves back to 9 at 1 in the morning. And then it's back at 8.5. It closes at 8.5. Or sorry, it doesn't close, but it's at 8.5 right now. So we have a move to the under and a move to the Orioles. We go over to the cash flow here. You have 74% of the tickets and 68% of cash on the Orioles. That would not concern me, even though it's not the perfect situation, but it would not concern me at all because of the line movement to the Orioles. So that's fine. You have 54% of tickets, 55% of cash on the over. That's, tricky to kind of figure out. Troy Torrance says he'll likely be on the O's -1. And really saying, what about the O's -1? I didn't want the O's full game. I still don't like what I'm seeing from the Orioles bullpen. I just wanted Bradish. I like what Bradish is doing, and Jose knows that I've, was ahead of the market on Bradish. And when you're able to do that with a pitcher, which I was last year, I love the pitcher. 3.58 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. He didn't have a great start to the season. He's rolling right now. 1 earned run. It was a solo shot and a 1-0 win at home versus the Twins last out. On the road, he's not being that good, but he's getting better. And he's only allowed 3 home runs over 36 in the third. Mally Mal says Severino will pitch well today. I think that's sort of what the market is indicating. Severino's been bad, 6.30 ERA. He looked awful in the last start at St. Louis, but he's been good at home. He's only had 3 home starts. Only 3 home starts. And he has gone 17 2/3, allowed 5 earned runs, 4 homers, but a 182 opponent's batting average. Yankees still aren't hitting righties, 205, 645 OPS since June 1st. The Orioles are hitting them but without much power. Yes, I can absolutely recap the early action, B-Lab, my man. So there you go. There's our guy, Deacon Mike, Guillermo Zertucci, both joining us. Great to see you, fellas. Orioles, Yankees, Bradish versus Severino. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, I unfortunately stayed off this game too. I found it pretty tricky. I, like everyone else, probably thought over in this game, but the 8.5 drop is concerning there. I don't know what it is about Bradish, because every time he also comes up, and I know he's a good pitcher, I just have trust issues with him too. I just have not gotten behind him as well, and I saw you cash on him last year, so I don't know why I'm not, but I passed on this game too. I think it's an interesting game. And what's funny here, Jim, I think the thing that has kept me off is that the Orioles and Yankees played already this season once, and Wells, Kramer, and Bradish all saw the Yankees. And obviously this was a Yankees team with Judge, and they all got touched up. 4 earned runs, 5 earned runs, et cetera, for all of them. And both Wells and Kramer both pitched phenomenally in their outings. Like Kramer at 10 Ks, et cetera. Bradish right there with them. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. And at this point, I just have to realize, put a line through all of the Yankee starts pre-Aaron Judge injury, which I forget what day it is now. I can only think of the Mike Trout injury now on July 4th. But pre-then, I think you should just throw those starts out the window. So I expect Bradish to pitch well here, even though he gave up his 4 earned runs. Severino, I don't trust at all either. He's very Jekyll and Hyde. 9 runs against the Cardinals last time out. Definitely probably helped the Cardinals boost their weighted runs created plus, as we talked about them earlier. But I just can't trust him here either. I just think he's not good. It's what's funny to me, and Dominican racism coming up. Severino, Domingo Herman, and the sticky stuff guy that I cannot fucking think of his name, Mr. Gunk, Michael Pineda, all are the same pitcher in my head. All 3 of those guys are just, meh pitchers that can go out there and pitch well, but it's just nothing here for me. I don't trust any of them.
This first 5's gone from 5, 4.5, 5, 4.5, 5, 4.5. It's at 4.5 right now. And, the over 4.5 is only -115 here at Bet365, but at Pinnacle, the under is +105. That first 5 over 4.5 at minus 120. It makes me actually want to flip and take that first 5, but I'm not going to. I don't like that it's moved initially from 5 to 4.5, and I lost my opportunity for the Orioles first 5, and so much so that I can understand TJ saying a free play would be on New York plus money. So, all right, let's move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern, Orioles Yankees. No move, sadly. 7:10 p.m. Eastern, Kansas City Royals 25-62, 12-31 on the road at Cleveland Guardians 42-44, 21-21 at home at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. And I need the Guardians to sweep for my divisional action badly, and the Twins aren't playing today.
I'll say, Jimmy, I think that's the best bet you've made all year, in my humble opinion.
I like it very much too, but I still there's certain rules that we try to follow, and one is that you want to buy low and sell high, and that kept me off the Reds at plus 450.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that division. I'm looking at the way the Reds played the Braves, and I'm like, there's no team that can do that. I mean, why that? I would love to have the plus 450 in my pocket. That would just fucking. And I know people they have the Reds win the division at 30-1. All I wanted was plus 450, and my own rules.
I would remember I was there with you, and it didn't help that I told you the week previous. We talked on my show; they were plus 1,300. So yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. Especially this weekend would be gigantic for you. But I think watching the Twins now. Unfortunately, the Twins have done what the Twins are going to do for seemingly for all of their fucking lives. Once their hitting goes down, their pitching goes up, vice versa. So I honestly think the Guardians could run away with this division, and that's. The Guardians are just going to finish like 5 games above 500, and no one else is going to do that. So,
oh, God, I hope so. The plus 380 it would take some of the mistakes I've made in the futures market away and put me in a nice spot. I also have the Astros to win. It could all be fine, but here we go. Royals, Guardians, Jordan Lyles with a richly deserved break for being sick. I don't know how sick he was, but got to rest that golden arm of his, and he's back. Tanner Bybee has been a tricky pitcher to figure out. He's been lights out at home. He's coming off a great start, but he had that little hiccup, and maybe he just is a really good pitcher, and that we should let go of that hiccup. Let's take a look at the weather here in Cleveland, and then we will break this all down. First off, weather in Cleveland, 76 Fahrenheit, 6 miles per hour in. It flips after an hour. It becomes out after an hour. So, that's interesting. Let's go over to Ballpark Pal and see what they think of this Cleveland spot. Plus 12% homers, plus 2% runs here. And you have Bybee going up against Lyles. And you guys are right. I do have a soft spot for the worst pitchers in the league. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck that is. But I do. And I also, I always think that there's value in the worst 5 teams in the league. And that was something that Gas Station Sushi was heavy about, was that, the worst. He used it down to the worst 3 teams in the league. This total has not moved from the opener. Opened up at 9, minus 111. It's 1 cent move to the under. And when we go over to the cash flow in this spot, we have a move now to the Guardians, but I didn't see that. I guess it was a pretty quick initial move. I take that back. So there was an 8 or 9 cent initial move, but now we have a 16 cent. So now there's a move over there. So let's pull up the cash flow then for this spot. Let's pull up this. Sorry. I know I do like them, TJ. Maybe not that much, but I do like them. And I think we can make money off of them. 55% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the over. And the market is not showing any kind of concern for that. None. From a money line standpoint, 6% of the tickets and 45% of tickets on the Royals. So Alfred looking at Bybee to record a win here. Mel, excited to see you, Jose. So Alfred and Rocco both on Bybee to record the win at plus 150. Lyles, his last start was a couple weeks ago at the Rays, and it wasn't bad. 4 runs over 6 innings. He has an 8.02 ERA, but a 276 opponent's batting average on the road. Bybee coming off that great start against the Cubs. He's been very good at home. Just 1 home run allowed over 34 innings. Royals are not hitting righties. 227, 634 OPS. Guardians are hitting righties. 286, 756 OPS. Royals bullpen an atrocity. The Guardians bullpen good since June 1st. 3.32 ERA. Take it away for us here, Jose. Royals, Guardians.
Yeah, I typically lean under with all Guardians games, especially if we think that they're going to be the main offensive contributor in this game. I understand, like you mentioned, their offense has been better as of late. Last 2 weeks against righties, 10th, 115 weighted runs created plus, so not bad. But full season, they're still 22nd, 90th, and the Royals are the worst team against righties last 2 weeks and full season. So I'm definitely considering the under here, honestly. And, again, I said a couple weeks ago, I don't know what it is. I just one day I woke up and I just magically became Noli Knows, I guess. And I just do not like betting overs anymore. Like I bet 2 last night in cash, one of them, and I was like, this is weird. I just been betting unders and just feeling a lot better about it. And this is just one of those unders that just kind of makes sense to me. Again, mini recipe for betting unders is one pitcher that's good enough to shut down the other pitcher for sure, or other lineup for sure, and the other one we feel good about. And this is kind of one of those things. Can Jordan Lyles' golden arm come through for us here? It's concerning, but I lean under here. I don't know if I'll make it official.
Jay's final takes on the first 5 over. I'm just going to stay off of it. I find the market pretty strange here. Billy Friedrich looking at the Royals full game, team total under 3.5. And Londo has given us the dead under sign. I really want the Guardians to sweep this here, and I just don't want to. This would be a nice situation for the Guardians. They could go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday sweepage, but I don't want. I'm off this spot.
Terry Francona, good ass fucking manager. I'll make the under official here, Jim. Under 9. I've got it on our friends at Bet Online at -113.
I imagine that I can.
This just feels like 7-0, 6-0 written all over it. Guardians win. The Royals just don't contribute. Last day of a series. Get the fuck out of there. Jordan Lyles is bad, becomes 1-12, and Tanner Bybee just feasts on a shitty lineup.
-109 at my bookie. Our friends at my bookie is the best we can give you.
Yep, and just remember, if you need an account at one of these places, you're looking for another book, go to the Pub Sports Radio website. Right now, www.pubsportsradio.com. You can even watch the show there. Got a lot of good stuff. If you're like, oh, what's Jimmy on today? Go to the Pub Sports Radio website. You can go look at his little bet slip there. It has all of our action there. And, of course, click on the Bet Online, the MyBookie, the Bovada logo there, and it'll take you to the website where you sign up. You can get a deposit match, so you can do all of that there. It's very easy and very quick, so shout out to them.
Yeah, and we're going to have poker tournaments after the All-Star break leading up to football season. Cash tournaments, but we're also going to give out prizes, and some will be free entry into our Cappers contest, which is a $100 entry. Peter Loshak winning last year, our first ever Capper contest in NFL. All right, let's move on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern, Texas Rangers at Boston Red Sox. And yeah, I should have just trusted my cap, but the market was just so fucked up in this game yesterday.
Yeah, it was one of those rare times where I actually felt confident enough to wait until the line moves on the other side. That does not happen often.
Troy Torrance, says, I wish there were cash games. Look, I play cash games. I prefer cash games over tournament much more. I want it all up for grabs every hand, but this is a turbo. It doesn't last too long, and we do it live, Troy. So if you'd be on screen doing it live with us all on screen, which does make it more fun.
Yeah, we show the tables and the hands and everything. It's a
fun.
good time.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
Saturated.
Yeah, saturated. Strong. We got a lot of good poker players. It's a good group. Okay, here we go. Texas Rangers, Boston Red Sox. BJ has given us the best bet. Rangers money line -139. Ron Crawford, MLB spreadsheet play of the day is Texas -1. And Ron Crawford his spreadsheet record, 28-22, hitting at 56%. It's going to be after the All-Star break, and we're going to publicize it heavy, Sweaty, so don't worry, I'll let you know. We don't have the date yet, but we're going to have at least 2 before. It'll probably be on Wednesday nights generally, or no, but that's now the night sesh. So I guess maybe Tuesday nights. We'll probably do Tuesday nights here.
Yep.
There's our guy, Luke Murphy, esteemed author Luke Murphy. And Rocco Rogers celebrating Brandon Lau's birthday. Something for everyone here. Spreadsheet play today, though, plus 5.76 units, ROI plus 11.52%, average line minus 103. And he's given us a look of the spreadsheet play today every single show we've had in the baseball season. Shout out to our Ron Crawford. Let's go. TJ says we need a day tournament so I can join at work. Look, if more people are interested about that, I guess.
What are you doing? Why was your productivity so low? Just grinding my fucking face off playing poker.
We do not know what the pimp slot play today is yet, Londo. And yes, Jack, this is an extremely fishy line. Nate Eovaldi versus Cutter Crawford. And I can't wait to hear Jose's explanation for why this line is the way it is. And it's got to be that Cutter Crawford is going to shove. 84 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 8.4 miles per hour out to the Green Monster. So we know that the doubles and triples are going to be through the roof here. I haven't looked at it yet, but that's usually what it is. Look at that. Jeez, that's the highest I've seen it all year, Jose. So plus 3% home runs, plus 30% doubles and triples, plus 17% runs.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, God. And did we even go over the Progressive Field ballpark, pal? I don't even know if we did. By the way, Progressive Field, plus 29% home runs, plus 21% doubles and triples, plus 20% runs.
A little bit of offense there today.
Jesus. Wow. I'm sorry that I didn't mention that for the Progressive Field. But so Fenway Park second, Nationals Park third, Comerica Park fourth for offense, all double-digit in runs. So we have Nate Eovaldi and Cutter Crawford. Let's go right into the line history here. We will start with money line and then get into the total. For this money line, we have Boston Red Sox opening up at plus 120. They're now plus 126. Now 6 cents of movement towards the Texas Rangers. Is that enough with all the money on them? I don't know. From a total side of things, this opened up at 10 and has only moved 4 cents to the over. This is wild. Just wild. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for the Red Sox spot. We have 66% of the tickets and just 22% of the cash on the Texas Rangers. I mean, that's just very uncomfortable if you're holding a Rangers ticket here. But we talk often about my lack of trusting my capping, and Ron Crawford trusts this capping. And so that wouldn't concern Ron. 59% of the tickets, 67% of cash on the under. How's that possible? Joe Yurkovich doesn't see fishiness. Okay. Nate Eovaldi, 10-3, 2.64 ERA, 0.99 WHIP, 112 in the third innings, 106 Ks. Last start was a thing of beauty at home versus the Astros, 7 innings, no earned runs. On the road, he's been very good. 2.44 ERA, 59 Ks, 17 walks, 218 opponent's batting average. He's only allowed 3 home runs over 66 in the third. Billy also says he doesn't see it. He smells it. Okay.
Fair. That's typically what happens. You smell it first before seeing it.
Cutter Crawford, 3.92 ERA, 1.10 WHIP. Nice start at Toronto, 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, solo shots, 5 Ks, 2 walks. He's not being good at home, but sample size is probably too small, 23 in the third. TJ, full game and first 5 under in the spot. Rangers, there's righties, 269, 804 OPS. Red Sox, 258, 736 OPS. Both bullpens have been bad since June 1st. Take it away for us here, Jose, your Red Sox in action.
So Jimmy, I've had this. This is my series. I had this series under a fucking lock and key. I told you 2 days ago now. I looked at the series price at this, and I asked Dabby Cab the same question. Dabby, what did you think a Red Sox versus Rangers series price would be? Dabby goes, minus 150 Rangers, minus 120 Red Sox. It's like, what? That makes no sense. So from then on, I was like, all right, well, the Red Sox are going to win this series. So I'm going to take the Red Sox every game, Red Sox money line here. We lost the first game. We cashed the second game in the face of all that market shit. And we're going to cash again here today. Red Sox win this game. And easily the most, I'm going to be fucking crying this whole game, Jimmy. This is my favorite pitcher come back, Nathan Eovaldi. Again, Nathan Eovaldi, by far, not even close, my favorite Red Sox pitcher since John Lester. I fucking love Nathan Eovaldi. He's a fucking dog. All the Red Sox players have loved that. We're like, oh, yeah, Nate's back. They're giving him the whole suck and blow, et cetera, et cetera. Nate gets touched up here. Coming back home, all the emotions, the tribute video, et cetera, et cetera. Alex Cora knows Nathan Eovaldi like the back of his dick. Alex Cora, a guy that has been known to get tips off of pitchers, just knows pitchers really well. He's been with them for a long time. Red Sox win this game. And again, and I'll keep fucking saying it, the Texas Rangers will not make the playoffs. I have been screaming that for ages now. Jimmy, I don't think they win this division. I think the Astros still come back and win this division. And obviously, Jose Altuve, and they haven't put him on the IL yet, but they're going to. He has a little oblique, and I'm assuming it's be an oblique strain there, and he'll be out. And that's concerning, obviously. But this Rangers team is going to fall off, especially in the second half. John Gray, like you've mentioned, they've had two pitchers this whole year that have been excellent, Eovaldi and Gray. And if both of those guys aren't firing, then they're fucked. And we've seen Gray fall off a bit. He had a good start actually yesterday. He only gave up like 2 earned runs off the top of my head. And he was fine. But if he's not going to pitch as a fucking Cy Young guy, and Nathan is not going to last this long either, then that team is going to fall off a cliff, and they're going to lose out on their playoff spot. And again, I'll update everyone because this is something that I feel like I do every time when the Rangers are playing here. They are 2 games up on the Astros, an Astros team that we've all said objectively has had a horrible first half up to their standards. Only 2 games back. And the wild card spot, they would be second right now. The Astros are in second with the Blue Jays 1.5 games back, right there with them. And I think the Blue Jays will be extremely motivated to add pieces and get into the playoffs. So it seems like it's going to be a Blue Jays Rangers battle for the playoffs because unfortunately the Angels have fallen off and my Red Sox are the most average team in baseball. And we'll see what the Mariners do in the second half. But I just can't get behind them. I just don't trust this Rangers squad. I've never believed in an offensive juggernaut being able to keep their whole hot streak throughout the whole year. Pitching is what matters. Pitching gets you in the postseason. Pitching wins you playoff games. So Red Sox win this game. And it's going to be a fun game for me to watch here through tears. And I can't wait.
The Rangers are going to save all the DeGrom cash, right? The insurance will pay for that.
Well,
that will allow them to be buyers.
Well, I expect they're going to be one of the hottest buyers in the market because they, just like the Reds, to a lesser extent, they've not made the playoffs in fucking ages, and their owners have spent for the one reason to be competitive and get in the playoffs. So they are 1,000% going to be one of the more aggressive teams in the trade deadline. But I don't believe in them. They added Aroldis Chapman, who I've mentioned several times, is good this year. But when you're competing against like the New York Yankees or the Houston Astros, who have seen Aroldis Chapman plenty of times before and have hit game-winning and walk-off home runs against that guy, it's not intimidating. And on top of that, the Rangers need more relief help, and they need at least one more starter. And I don't have enough faith in them getting all those guys. So we'll see here. But if the Rangers don't if the Rangers don't get a Giolito or Marcus Stroman, they're fucked. They're so fucked. So we'll see.
Deacon thinks they're going to get Stroman. And Billy Friedrich's right. Dunning has been very good.
I don't believe in Dane Dunning even a little bit. But, yes, he has been great.
Yeah, him and Bradish were my guys last year.
Yeah, I just need to see Dunning do it for a whole season. He's like 7-1 at this point. It's just been fucking great. We'll just do it. And I agree with everyone on the unders here as well.
So do I. But, I mean, I guess with how offensive the weather is, and I still want to stay away from either bullpen. So I would only take that first 5 under 5.5.
Wow, 5.5. It's high.
The fact that it's at that number is what makes me nervous. I mean, it really does. And now it opened up at 5.5 at minus 111 to the over. It's now minus 110 to the under. I think that should be enough for me. But I mean, when I look at pitchers, 2.64 ERA, 0.99 WHIP, compared to Cutter Crawford, 3.92 ERA, 1.10 WHIP, or either of these pitchers, though, when you see the lower ERAs and then the very high total, I mean, that. I guess there's no fear about the recreational gamblers. They want to make sure that the pros don't hurt them. But Londo says that 5.5 says over is live. Londo, I think that this is personally, and I know that Joe doesn't agree, and we got the spreadsheet play today and BJ on the Rangers, which is great company to have. I think it's a very fishy line. Very, very fishy. Personally. And then you're seeing all these huge bets on the Red Sox. I mean, that explains it. So, I mean, I guess maybe it's not fishy because it's explained by the Sharps being on the Red Sox. Okay, so, Jose, what are you making official here?
Sox money line plus 126. And by the way, a little update. And I think I'll make this official, too. I have not made this official in any of my programs. I have not bet it yet because I don't get to bet it often. I have to log on before all the games start, and it becomes a pain in the dick, et cetera, et cetera. But I can do this now. The Texas Rangers to not make the playoffs, plus 300 currently.
God, I'd like to be on that, but then I'm just kind of compounding the loss in case they win the division, or the Astros don't win the division. But I like that. It's a plus 300. Fuck, I like that.
We've talked about it at plus like 245, plus 265. I think that's interesting. And by the way, another indication that makes me feel better about betting this. Again, we just talked about the 1-2 teams that will fight with the Rangers here when they don't win this division. The Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays to make the playoffs. Jimmy, what do you think? Just take a guess. The yes for the Blue Jays to make the playoffs.
Plus 140.
Minus 150. Wow. That is insanity. I mean, who's going to fall off? Who's going to fall off from that wild card trio? The Orioles aren't. The Astros win their division, and that leaves the Rangers here. And then you've got the Yankees. So, again, I would hate to see the Yankees fall off and not make the division, or might not make the playoffs, but minus 150 for the Blue Jays to make the playoff, that is a sign. So I take both there. I'll take the Red Sox to make the playoff, the Red Sox to win this game, and the Rangers to not make the playoffs here today officially at plus 300.
David May does not agree, but again, it's not the offense that's questioned here, David, with the Rangers. It's the pitching and also the strength of that division. If Seattle steps up, what's Seattle to make the playoffs?
Seattle to make the playoffs. That's an excellent question, Jim. Let's look this up real quick. Sorry, Seattle. Yes, plus 325. They are currently 42-43, 5 games back of the wild card game. So but they have the Angels in front of them. They're going to fall off. The Red Sox, I hope, fall off. They're going to trade people. And then you've got the Blue Jays and the Yankees and the Astros would be the other teams in front of them. And by the way, Jim, the Cleveland Guardians are behind the Seattle Mariners there too. So that's another interesting wrinkle of all that. But I mean, this is one of those things I've been defiant about it for the last couple of weeks. I cannot see it. Again, I just do not believe in a team built like this where it's just all offense. Let's just hit our way up to the playoffs, hit our ways to the World Series. That just does not work. That shit does not work. And when you've got 2 aces and your third ace is broken for 3 years, it's just not for me here.
Okay, let's go back to this spot here. Why are you not on the first 5 under 5.5?
Because I think there's a chance that Nathan Eovaldi could get touched up here. And then, it's easy to say the same thing about Cutter Crawford with such a good lineup here. Nathan Eovaldi, let's not forget, once upon a time, Nate, again, pitched really well at Fenway Park, but he gave up 5-6 straight home runs against the Astros in one game last year. It's definitely a hitter-friendly ballpark. And we all know that. And the offensive numbers you mentioned with Ballpark Pal definitely makes it feel like they're going to be smacking ball off the monster. But I just really think the familiarity with the Red Sox and Eovaldi is the thing that troubles them there. And I'd rather this be a low-scoring game. High-scoring game definitely favors the Rangers.
And Troy's saying that it's the bullpen. That's the problem with the Rangers. And also saying Pubapalooza 3 going to be lit. I can't wait for Pubapalooza 3. I was actually thinking that a couple of days ago, how excited I am for it. It's a really nice thing for us up north to know we can come down to the warmth at the end of March every year. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stay off the first 5 under 5.5 here, but I lean towards it. Jose has moved on the Red Sox to plus 126. BJ and Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day are on the Rangers. Let's move on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Seattle Mariners 42-43, 18-23 on the road at Houston Astros 49-38, 24-19 at home Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The roof's going to be closed. Now, we don't have a line here, but there's a thought that's possible that Spencer Watkins could be pitching for. No, it's moved to Ronel Blanco now. Okay, because Spencer Watkins was just picked up. Designated for assignment on Tuesday by the Orioles and was just picked up by the Astros, and he's been like horrific this year. 7.27 ERA, 1.92 WHIP. But it's not. Looks like it might not be him. Looks like it might be Ronel Blanco. So there's no line or anything out. But let's just do the due diligence here on the situation on George Kirby, because that's who we do know. 7-7, 3.21 ERA, 1.04 WHIP. And his last start was very good. 8-3 win at home over the Rays. 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks. On the road, he's been very good this year. 3.31 ERA, 274 opponents batting average. Mariners versus righties, 224, 703 OPS. Astros versus righties, 252, 771 OPS. Brandon Great, no, the ribeye play of the day is being worked on as we speak by our guy Mike M.
And by the way, Pubapalooza is end of March area, around like Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Yeah,
is when Pubapalooza is. So
every year
calendars. Yeah.
Mariners bullpen's been a train wreck here, and Astros are winning and winning and winning. I think I might just stay off that Rangers spot, although I like it. I just don't want to, because I've got the Astros to win the division. I'm basically riding with you on it, but take it away though here for us, Jose. What are your thoughts on George Kirby? And I'll see if there's any lines that have come out at all.
I respect what the Mariners did here. Jimmy, we talked about this. This gives me a little bit of flashbacks to Marlins Braves. The Marlins against the Red Sox, the game before, they throw Jesus Luzardo to secure the sweep. Whatever, they get the sweep, and then they throw a slapdick. I forgot who it was in game 1. He got fucking crushed. The Mariners, experienced manager, Scott Service, good manager, instead throw Dabby Malone out there yesterday so they can get George Kirby out here today. And by the way, Dabby Malone, a new character on our program, Jimmy. I was shocked to see Tommy Malone starting a game, and I was shocked to see that he's 36.
I know. I thought he was older.
What? You thought he was older? I thought he was like 24. I thought he was a young man for some reason. I don't know.
He was in his 40s. I cashed on the first 3 under 2.5 with ease.
You did, and I was just shitting on Tommy Malone. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He's facing the worst team against lefties, sure, but this guy fucking sucks." And I was like, "Dabby, you could throw harder than this fucking guy." And we established Dabby 100% can throw harder than Tommy Malone. And I was like, "Why don't we just get Dabby in there?" So Dabby Malone was born here, and he could go out there and throw a couple of good innings for the Mariners here. So I only call him Dabby Malone now, unfortunately for him. But I respect Scott Service for throwing Dabby out there, letting him do his thing, and setting up your rotation for the series that actually matters here in Houston. An Astros team that we just talked about, a little banged up. Altuve, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I mean, they said, reporting around here is that there's a little minor oblique pull. There's no fucking minor oblique pulls. That guy's going to go on the IL. And that's not good. So after all that shit I was talking about the Rangers here, having the Astros' best player out of the lineup is terrifying. And it honestly makes me want to bet the Mariners here because, again, I think they're fully focused on this series just because of that one move. That one move tells me a lot that Scott Servais needs to get back, or I should say the Mariners need to get back in this fight. So I lean Mariners here. It obviously depends who the hell the Astros are throwing. I respect Ronel Blanco. I think he's decent. I do not respect Spencer Watkins. I respect what the pitchers, what the Astros can do with their pitchers, though. So I probably won't be on this game. I'll probably just watch and see how Spencer does here. But the difference between Ronel Blanco and Spencer Watkins is that Blanco was born and raised in the Astros system, I believe. Called up, blah, 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 developed in the Astros system. Spencer Watkins was not, and I'm sure that he'll pitch better than his 8 ERA says. Because, Astros will go in and fix whatever, like, oh, you're throwing your 4-seam fastball 80% of the time. Let's make it a 2-seam and make it throw 40% of the time. And those changes will help him, I'm sure. But I need to see it first. So I pass here. I absolutely lean towards the Mariners because I think the Mariners know that this is a must show up series for them. Must show up.
Yeah, I'd like to back Kirby here in game one as well, but I was hoping to see Spencer Watkins. We'll just have to be patient here and see what becomes available. And but I agree. This is a huge game for Seattle, huge game, and not as important for the Astros who did their part against Texas already. So
exactly.
Cool. We'll roll on. Respect, Troy. Thank you for running with us, my friend. We have 2 more games before we get into WNBA and NBA Summer League with Billy Brisbane. So 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Let's go. New York Mets, Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh, I have the wrong field there, but whatever. New York Mets, Arizona Diamondbacks. We know that there will be roof will be closed. So let's just go right into the line history. I'm still just seeing that loss over and over and over and over and over, and it really hurt yesterday. The Diamondbacks opened up a minus this one. It was we were one strike away from cashing and then having the winning day.
Yeah, fat Venezuelans will do that to you.
15-cent move to the Arizona Diamondbacks, 15 cents, and then we're going to go over to the total in this one. This total, I got the first 5 up. Let's go to full game. And let's hammer this one. So we have this total opening up at 10 juice. Oh, shit, that's the wrong book. God, sorry a second. I got Pinnacle. We have this total opened up at 10.5. It lasted there for 35 minutes. Dropped to 10. Back to 10.5, 10, 10.5, 10. It's sitting at 10 right now. So we have a move to the under and a big move to the Diamondbacks. Take a look at the cash flow here. And 68% of the tickets, 77% of the cash on the under, market moving towards the under. On the money line, we have 77% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on the Diamondbacks here. Stacks play of the day is on the over 10 in this from Justin McElvey. We have Carlos Carrasco going up against Ryan Nelson. Carlos Carrasco, 5.94 ERA, 1.57 whip. He's not been good this year. 39 strikeouts, 26 walks, 12 home runs, allowed in 53 innings. Coming off a good start at home versus the Giants. On the road, he's been better than he's been at home. Hard to quantify that. 4.91 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 14 walks, 261 points batting average. Then you have Ryan Nelson. So Ryan Nelson, 4.67 ERA, 1.38 whip. He's only had 64 strikeouts in 90 2/3. His last start was very good. It was at the Angels, and it's sort of continued this issue he's had where he's pitching very good on the road and poorly at home. He went 7 1/3, allowed 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and 3-1 win at the Angels. At home, he's got a 7.09 ERA. 23 K, 16 walks. Opponents are hitting 341 off him. The BABIP for him at home is 357. We did this with Ranger Suarez. He had these horrific road numbers that made no sense. He has pitched most of his season right now on the road. So I think that Ryan Nelson has had bad luck, and I think that will change. The Mets are not hitting righties. 232, 717 OPS. since June 1st. The Diamondbacks are. I would like a little bit of a different ticket count here, but I've been thinking about this spot for a while and just saying it out loud. So now, it's a public spot, the Diamondbacks. 77% of tickets, 69% of cash, but with the market moving towards them. And yes, I don't care what happened yesterday, really. But yeah, that hurt Arizona, and yeah, that maybe will buoy the Mets. I think this is a double up spot for the Diamondbacks. That's what I think. I think Ryan Nelson will start pitching well at home, and I think we can be ahead of the market for him at home. I think we can be ahead of the market in general for Ryan Nelson. And the young pitchers that are fighting for the rotation spots in Arizona are pitching very well, and why wouldn't he continue to do it too? I think we should move, or at least myself should move, with the Dapper Capper on the Diamondbacks and double up. First 5, full game. Take it away, Jose.
It's a good name, the Dapper Capper.
It's him, yeah.
I passed on these games here, the last two actually. I really had no feel on either one. I respect your Ryan Nelson look, and this is going to be a rotation start for you. This guy might join your rotation here if this goes well. Shout to Jonathan Yim, by the way, 15 Canadian. We love that shit.
That's our uncle, Jonathan. Remember, he cashed in the Cappers contest, or did he win he was part of the split for the? No, he was part of the split for the Survivor pool.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. I get PTSD every time thinking about that fucking Cappers contest, man. And by the way, Jimmy, you never mentioned who came in second in that. You never mentioned who came in second. Only Pete in first. Yeah, Cookie Carrasco. Again, it's tough to cap the Mets. I think the Mets maybe fall into the Phillies category for me, where on given days it's just like wake up and who are the Mets playing? You fade them. But right now they want a close game and such great fashion, rally around the guys, whatever. Ultimately I couldn't get there with this game. Their offenses are a little above average against righties in the last 2 weeks. 104 for the Diamondbacks. That's 14th best. 13th best for the Mets. 111. So I passed here. I could lean under here though, but nothing for me.
I don't really want to double up here, but I just feel that it's right to do that. Before I move on this, I just wanted to look at one thing before we get into our last spot. If you could, while I'm doing this, if you could send Brizzy a message, give him like a 5-minute warning or something like that. Thank you, Jonathan Yim, my man. Very cool. Thank you for the dono. Blessing our action. What I want to do is I want to take a look, just a bit of a closer look at Ryan Nelson and Carrasco. Actually, I guess I think I've got Ryan Nelson. I think he's just had some tough luck with balls in play. I think what I really want to look at is Carrasco's last couple road starts. Because he has been better on the road than he has been at home. And let's just take a look here.
Hey, don't worry, guys. Troy Torrance is back. His meeting got canceled. Let's fucking go.
So he only makes it through 4 innings in Philadelphia. He makes it through 4 2/3 in Pittsburgh. He gets hit hard by the Braves. I'm going to bet on. Oh, and the RBI play, the ribeye play of the day is in. And shout out to Danny Lopez handing out winners in the chat, as always.
Love that shit, Danny.
So let's get this ribeye play today set up for the Guardians game. I'm going to double up on the Diamondbacks.
Do that. Jimmy, I'm scared to say this out loud. Shout out to our guy, Deacon Mike. Deacon Mike's been much nicer recently.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been much nicer recently.
He's just a nice guy, man. He's just a nice guy. Don't tell him that you love him, though. Don't tell him.
No. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared that I said that. I'm worried about that. Maybe he'll turn into my guy Barry Smith. But I like Deacon. I like Deacon a lot. Yeah, I don't like Barry, but I like Deacon.
Let's talk about the final spot here on the board. 10:10 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Pirates 40-46, 18-25 on the road. Los Angeles Dodgers 48-38, 26-16 at home. And my guy Cogerino says D-back smash righties, but can't hit cutters and splitters. And he says, I know Senga is a forkball, but same. Says they smash 4 seams and changeups though, which is Cookie's main pitches. I love that. And Rem Most also giving you confidence. Johan Oviedo going up against Julio Urias. I don't know if there's a pitcher in the league right now with splits as dramatic as Julio Urias. Maybe it's just the same thing we just discussed with Ryan Nelson, really. But Julio Urias leaves the friendly confines of Echo Park Boulevard and gets lit up and smoked.
It's not as friendly for you, unfortunately.
No, but it's been a long time since we've rehashed those stories. But
I didn't make the Christmas card list for Deacon.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
God damn it.
Remos did delete it, though. He did delete that comment.
Oh, thanks. I can still see it, though. Thanks, Rem.
Okay.
See, they're getting nicer in the chat.
Getting nicer. Oviedo 3-9, 4.61 ERA, 1.43 whip, 93 and 2/3. JPC loves that story. Oh, God. There's not much to it, but on day 4, I got egged. I can make it a longer story, too.
It's a good story,
I can make it a longer story, too. I'd be happy to. But that was the first time I got egged. Not the last, but the first time I got egged. Just coming out of a little convenience store, and they just stared at me, too. It wasn't like an egg and run. It was like, hey
now
dude.
what?
Hey,
was it one of my cousins that did it?
Hey, dude. I don't think so. Your family would be good to me. Oviedo against Urias. Urias has been terrible on the road. He went into Kansas City and couldn't get a win. 5 earned runs in 3 innings. At home, it's a completely different story, and I mean completely. He's awesome there. Game in and game out. 31 and 2/3, 4-1, 1.99 ERA, 32 strikeouts and 2 walks, 5 home runs allowed, 186 opponents batting average. Urias is just bet on at home. Pirates are hitting lefties a bit, 245, 716 OPS. Dodgers 252, 747 against righties. Pirates bullpen vulnerable, as we saw again yesterday. And look, I think that Urias is bet on, but the question is, how can you bet him when the Dodgers take so much cash? So let's review the situation here. First off, weather at Chavez Ravine. And when we have drinks on a horse racing stream or something like that, I can go into a much longer story about those days on Echo Park Boulevard. Pirates, Dodgers, 67 Fahrenheit, 9.4 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 7.8. A ballpark pal here gives the Dodgers plus 7% home runs, minus 2% runs. Line history-wise, we have the Dodgers opening up while we have a move to the Pirates and Oviedo. So a big move, 20-cent move to the Pirates. Wow.
The money's all over them.
Wow. So big move towards the Pirates, which tells me that Oviedo is going to pitch well. This total has gone from 9 to 8.5, and it is juiced at the 8.5. That's another sign that Oviedo is going to pitch well, because I know Urias will bounce back here. 1777 says Dave Roberts ran Urias into the ground. Wow, look at that. 44% of the tickets and 97% of the cash. Wow, that's absolutely wild. And then from a total perspective, we have 90% tickets, 75% cash on the over. The public all over this over. Market moving towards the under. Wow. Well, this tells me to bet the first 5 under. Let's just take a look at this. Look on the total. This was not part of the plan, but can quickly become one. The total here. We're at the top of the second, and the Reds have a runner on second. I don't like that. Here we go. First 5 total here in this one. And this one opened up at 5. Moved to 4.5 at 8:30 in the morning. That 4.5 became very juiced. A little bit of buyback on the over. I think this is the first 5 under, which maybe means the first 3 under. Take it away for us here, Jose, our final MLB game on the board before we get into basketball. Pirates, Dodgers.
I think I'll join you on the first 5 under there. Market moving towards the under. In there is 90% of money and 90% of bets, 75% of the money on the over. I agree. And again, this is one of those spots where I think the under recipe is simple. You've got like one good elite starter, Julio Urias, who we know can shut down the other team, and then a starter that's capable of doing it on the other side. It's easier said than done, et cetera, but You mentioned Julio Urias' home road splits, and just to really codify it, home 31 2/3 innings pitched, a 1.99 ERA. On the road, an 8.44 ERA, 26 2/3 innings pitched on the road this season. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. It does not hurt that in very Mexican style, our guy Julio Urias saw Peso Pluma recently. Apparently, that's a big Mexican Spanish singer. I don't know. I don't listen to Hispanic music, unfortunately. Shout out to Bad Bunny. But I believe in Julio here. I think he can pitch well. First 5 under is going to be on my card here. Filthy Sticks asking about how the Dodgers have been hitting. That's an excellent question. Filthy Sticks, full season, they're 5th against righties, 111 weighted runs created plus. Last 2 weeks, 8th, 118 weighted runs created plus. So a little better here. But I agree with Jimmy. If the market's telling you that it's creeping towards the under with all that money on the over here, it does seem like Oviedo is going to pitch well here. And like Mike is saying, this is just flashbacks to last year. Shout out to the Dodgers for actually winning a game in this series. But just last year, the Pirates went into the fucking Dodger Stadium, swept their ass. Julio Urias was the last pitcher in that series, beat him, and I'm pretty sure that game went under as well. So this is just all very much flashback. So I like the first 5 under with you.
And Rob Free is right, about how bad Urias has been. But those were 2 road starts: Kansas City, St. Louis. He got lit up. 11 earned runs, 6 innings. The previous start to that, against the Padres, when he was seeing them for a second time in a row, 2 earned runs over 7 innings. Then the Phillies he faced at home, a real tough team, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, allowed 1 earned run over 7 innings. He's been lights out all year at home, and this is a perfect chance for a bounce back spot for him. By the way, Detroit have 2 men on here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. I feel like I left money on the table in that spot, but I also think that it's a double up spot for me. I think that the first 3 under 2.5 is going to be on my card as well. I think it's a double up spot for me. First 3 under 2.5, first 5 under 4.5. I love it, Jose. Excellent work. Let's review all action here in MLB. Oh, I got you that first 5 under 4.5 minus 104 at Pinnacle.
Cool.
All right, let's review all action. I know that these things. Oh, by the way, Deacon thinks Peralta going to get tagged today. Says he's betting the Cubs money line and Suzuki RBI prop. Respect, Deacon. Thanks for hanging with us, man. I open it up a little bit. I have $250. My unit size is being 150 in CFL. I've got $250 on the first half over 21.5 and $250 on the full game over 43.5 in Edmonton, Saskatchewan. And Chris Jones is hammering home how fast they're going to play. And that's the underdog Elks, who have a quarterback who just watched last game. And I think that helps.
Shout out to my guy, Taylor.
So I've doubled up, and this game means a whole lot to me. That's in CFL. In baseball, I'm on the Nats. First 5. Is it 1-0? No, but it could be very, very soon.
Did you see that they moved that to minus 150 during the show as well?
What?
Nats 5 money line.
Jesus. Wow. So then I beat that by 30 cents. It's crazy. And I only got in at 9:30. Hip to be square play today, Arizona and Cleveland. Oh, I love that.
Well, I've got bad news for you.
What?
The tarp's out.
Where?
In Cincinnati, Washington. Tarp's out. Rain delay. So no more Mackenzie Gore, we assume there.
Mally Mal, that CFL game takes place at 9 p.m. Eastern. Damn it. That's going to hurt us.
Yes, it is, because we wanted Mackenzie Gore, and obviously the Nationals bullpen is a trash fire. I mean, we can say the same thing about the Reds, but we'll see. And Billy Friedrich's saying it's raining on and off, so maybe it's a short delay that they can get what's-his-name back up there, but, what are the odds of that actually happening? So, by the way, 2-0 Tigers already.
That makes me want to smash something. I put it out on a fucking tee for me. What the fuck? Okay. All right. Let's move on. Oh, that makes me want to smash something. Just filled with rage. Jose is on the first 5 under 4 in Cubs Brewers, and I expect to join him. That game starts in 46 minutes. Cash flow play today is the Brewers minus 116. Let your nuts hang play today's Brewers first 5 plus 105, but Deacon does not feel that will be the case. I'm moving on the White Sox first 5. I haven't bet that yet. Game 2, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, or if anything. I'm going to move on the Phillies with the boys. TJ Gift is on the Phillies at plus 120. Levels play of the day from Tom Miggins is on the Phillies. He's also on Bryce Harper homer. Jose's on the first 5 under 4 in St. Louis, Miami. He's already bet that, and he's nervous about it. Troy, I hear you, man. I hear you, buddy. It happens, man. Orioles first 5, it sucks, but it sucks that I can't move on, and I'll be watching for it, see if I can. Mike M's ribeye play today. Jose Ramirez at plus 135. Jose's on the under 9 at minus 109. Jay's final takes first 5 over 4.5. I'm off that spot. Jose's on the Red Sox at plus 126, going up against BJ and Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. Mike M, no, not everybody. Piker, aka Poker Addicted. He really likes the race. Mariners, Astros. I'd like to see some lines and then maybe move on the Mariners. Diamondbacks first half full game. I'm going to be doubling up on the late night action, which makes me nervous. Diamondbacks first half full game. Stacks play today's Diamondbacks over 10, and Jose's on the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 104. I'm going to be on the first 5 under as well, and the first 3 under 2.5, and that is our MLB breakdowns today. Jose, excellent work, my friend. Let's get that cash. We've had some very successful Thursdays. Last Thursday wasn't there, but we've had some, and I think we're going to do well here tonight.
Yeah, last Thursday was tricky, exceedingly tricky. I remember that being a thing. So today we'll get some money. It'll be a good time. I think the only bet that I have on there that you didn't mention, and it's kind of weird to mention futures, is the Rangers to not make the playoffs. So I know you don't have to really write that down. But I've made that official now, plus 300. And that's honestly, that's going to define my fucking baseball season. It's going to see if the Rangers make the playoffs or not. Shout out to Noli Knows, Cubs Brewers under 8. I love that because we're on the first 5 under 4 there. And I've said this again many times. I've turned into Noli Knows recently. So shout out to Noli Knows, excellent capper, the king of the unders there. So shout out to you, Jimmy. I'll see everyone tomorrow for another edition of Say Hey Plays. We've got Connor Mack joining us then. And then Saturday, Dabby Cab, Tommy Malone, a.k.a. Dabby Malone. This fucking guy right here, guest hosting on Saturday with Moose Money joining him as well. So shout out to Moose, shout out to Dabby Malone.
And then on Sunday.
Yes, on Sunday, Troy Torrance joins us. That'll be a fun. Troy Torrance, first time on Say Hey Plays. I'm excited for that. Excited to dive into the data and his databases. So it'll be a whole lot of fun. And really, I just mentioned Moose because I wanted an excuse to play this.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to basketball. Our guest cashed a 7-1 parlay in NBA Summer League yesterday. Also gave us a winner in WNBA, 1-0 in WNBA yesterday with the Lynx first quarter money line. And I knew that with CFL and baseball that it was going to be a long show, but I thought we need Brizzy to join us. So welcome our guy, South Jersey in the house, handing out winners. It's very important. So we brought him back again today. Please welcome Billy Brisbane to the show. Brizzy, what's good?
What's good? You're doing this one from the kitchen, so I hope the camera's all right.
All right, you cooking? I'm cooking. All right, I like it. Excellent work yesterday. Very, very impressive. You're seeing things very well, and you're taking advantage of these small markets. And great work. Mally Mal also hit that first quarter over parlay. It was excellent work you did yesterday. Let's run it back.
Let's go, man. I'm excited for this slate.
All right. We have one game in WNBA, and let's get over there right now. That is the Seattle Storm at Connecticut Sun. This Storm squad having a rough season, 4-12, 2-3 on the road. The Connecticut Sun 12-5, 5-3 at home. We're at the Mohegan Sun Arena, a casino very near and dear to Brizzy's heart. Storm have lost 3 straight. We last saw them on Sunday in an 81-66 loss at home to New York. They lost to Minnesota in a home, and then lost again at home to the Liberty, an angry Liberty squad after that beating that they took from the Aces. The Connecticut Sun have also lost 2 in a row. They lost to the Aces on Saturday, 102-84 in Las Vegas. They also have a loss at home to the Liberty, and that came on the heels of a winning streak. This is a Connecticut Sun 12-5, very strong team on a 2-game losing streak and likely out for blood. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one and then hand it over to our expert, Billy Brisbane. Let's get this up. And Adam, here we go. So line history wise, we will start with the point spread, and we'll use Bet Online, who are hanging at 10. We see 10.5s at some other books. This opened up at 9 this morning, 7:16 a.m. 20 minutes later, moved to 9.5. Now is at 10, and we see Bookmaker and BetChris and those books hanging at 10.5. So we have a move towards the Connecticut Sun. And from a total side of things, this opened up at 164 and is now at 166. So 2 points of movement to the over. Brizzy, nice work yesterday. Let's run it back, baby. Take it away. Storm, Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, this is a game that didn't really make my card, but if it did, I would probably lean towards the Sun laying the points here. It's just, man, that's a lot of fucking points to be laying in I don't care if it's college basketball, high school basketball, or the NBA. It's a lot of points to be laying, but I agree with it, though. I mean, Seattle's 0-2 straight up ATS last 2 games playing in Connecticut. The Sun are 3-1 ATS last 4 meetings with the Storm. And the Storm are winless in their last 3 games, 1-5 straight up over the last 6 games. Just not a team I'm looking to back right now. It'd be the Connecticut Sun for me, but it's a little bit too juiced. You know me, man. I'll play anything if I think there has a win next to it, but this one didn't even make the parlays for me today.
Staying off Storm, Connecticut Sun, but you do agree with the move to the Sun and agree with the move to the over?
Yeah, if you gave me a free bet, or if there was a gun to my head and I had to save the wife, family, and kids, I would probably say Connecticut Sun team total over.
And what do you think of Mally Mal believing this is an angry Sun team, Sun first quarter, first half?
The only thing that scared me off the first half was we always talk about different book promotions, and FanDuel does a promotion with the WNBA because that's their main sponsor. And the FanDuel promoted play was not even an odds boost. A promoted play was take the Connecticut Sun in the first half. That just screams like a loser.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. No action for Brizzy and Storm Sun. Let's go to the Summer League. Congratulations on cashing that parlay last night. Thing of beauty, 7-1 parlay. Beautiful work. And we have 2 games here at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Oklahoma City Thunder at Philadelphia 76ers. Take it away. Your thoughts here.
Yeah, this line opened up at -5.5, came down a little bit to 4.5, and we kind of knew that the Grizzlies were a live dog yesterday. A lot of people in the chat were asking Thunder money line ? And I got a lot of text messages about the Thunder money line, but it was more of take the over in this spot. And game 2 for OKC was nowhere close to their opening day performance, but the game still went over by a wide margin. They shot 29.4% from the three-point line and had 20 turnovers. The Thunder were outscored in every quarter except the second. The Sixers have their new head coach, Nick Nurse, has their Summer League coach. Head coach has the Summer League coach. And the players have really responded well to the new system. The Sixers were trailing by 14 points at the end of the first quarter last night and finished the game 104-94 and won by 10 points. Both of these teams are in the second half of a back-to-back before playing Saturday. And this is also cut day. We'll see a couple of these players that will be cut and won't make that trip to Vegas. So I expect this to be a high-paced, back and forth action game. Philly had 5 different players scoring double digits. We have the G League MVP on our team, Mr. Springer. I actually sprinkled a little bit on his 20-plus points yesterday, got banged by the hook. But the Sixers have been really balanced scoring-wise. The Thunder have looked like one of the best teams in the Summer League. They're the betting odds favorite to win the tournament in Vegas and this weekend. So I'm rolling with the over 185.5.
Over 180.
No, I'm not a Sixers fan. We were just wearing it's a prop for the, we got the Allen Iverson hat on today. It's a prop.
Okay. Over 185.5 for a Brizzy here in NBA Summer League. Let's just see what is available right now for me. This is dropped, this total.
Yep, 184.
Yeah, 184. Interesting. Okay. So it's available right now.
It kind of reminds me of some of the line movement that we saw in that Sacramento and Miami game last night. That was like my best bet. But depending on where you got the opening number and where the number closed at, you kind of got banged by the line movement. The game finished, I think it closed at 181.5, and then the game finished at 178. So as long as you grab the opening close to the opening number, you should be good within 1 to 2 points here. And I think this, out of the 2 games, this one seems like the over spot compared to the other one.
Well, let's talk about the other one. 9 p.m. Eastern. This is our final game on today's show. Brizzy, thank you for making time for us after that huge day you had yesterday. Memphis Grizzlies at Utah Jazz in Salt Lake City, Utah. Take it away.
Yeah, even though the Jazz are theoretically the home team and they have their home fans and they have a lot of experienced players, they looked awful so far. Holy shit, man. I actually sat down and watched the game last night against the Sixers, and they looked horrible. After the first quarter last night, they were outscored 84-60 for the rest of the game, ending the game with 27 fouls and 22 turnovers versus Philadelphia. The Jazz have lost back-to-back games by double digits. The Grizzlies are coming off an 8-point win over OKC, the betting odds favorite for the Vegas tournament, and they look really good. They controlled it. They controlled the game from opening tip to close. I think the Grizzlies are way too deep of a roster for the Jazz to compete with. The Jazz have experienced a couple of injuries going into the NBA Summer League, and it's starting to show here. And I think they go 0-3 as the host of the Salt Lake City Classic.
And so you got 4.5?
No, I'm bet. My rule in basketball is if you're confident in the spread, you should be confident enough to lay it on the money line. So we took the money line here at -205, and then we parlayed these 2 plays at +184.
All right. So Grizzlies money line -205, and then you have the parlay here, which is the over 185.5, and the Grizz money line. And what was the parlay again? How much?
+184.
+184 for our guy. Big Luch laughing at each player getting 10 fouls. So
yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's great for the overs, right?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Excellent stuff from Brizzy. So Brizzy staying off the spot in Seattle, Connecticut. In WNBA, but moving on NBA Summer League. He's parlaying the over in Thunder Sixers with the Grizzlies money line, and also betting those 2 bets individually as well. Please follow our guy Brizzy on Twitter and on Instagram, and also your big podcast, our channel's big podcast popped off today. Can you tell us a little bit about the podcast?
Yeah, podcast today. Me, Millie Mills, and Big Show. Probably be uploaded later on this evening. But make sure you also follow me over there on Threads. Instagram's coming for Elon Musk, and Twitter, man. Twitter might be going down. Instagram finally updated their platform and added Threads, which is like basically like the Twitter version of Instagram. Probably one of the hottest social media apps that are coming out for the summer. So make sure you follow me over there at Billy Briz DFS.
I love it. Thank you, Brizzy, my man. There you go. That is our show for Thursday, July 6th. Let's take a look at what's going on right now in the MLB action live. So Detroit up 2-0. Lorenzen going to shove. I am pretty angry that I stayed off that spot. We have a rain delay in Washington. Not sure how long that will be going for. But here's our action on today's card. Again, I doubled up on overs in football, Canadian football in Regina, Saskatchewan, and I up the ante a little bit, which I would like to do more as we move forward in spots where I'm really confident in. And I'm really confident in points here. And this was a very low total. I got 21.5 first half, and I got 43.5 full game. It's now at 44 for the full game, but still 21.5. The Elks have gone from 7.5 to 7. I kind of like the Elks, but God, it just sucks betting on the shittiest teams alive. And then in MLB, Jose and I are on the Nats first 5. I got him a minus 120. They got up to minus 150, but nervous about it. Jose's on the Nats first 5 minus half. Now it looks like a shit bet because unless this rain delay ends kind of soon and we can get both Williamson and Gore back, we'll see if that happens. A's Tigers, sadly I stayed off. And I've got to bet this. Well, I'm going to add my action in now, but I've only got 30 minutes before the start of Cubs Brewers. We had Noli Knows come in and talk to us about the under 8. I have Jose's on the first 5 under 4. I'm going to move on the first 5 under 4. Cash flow play today from Benny is the Brewers, and Let Your Nuts Hang play today from Jay's final take is the Brewers first 5 plus 105. And wow, Elks has moved to 6.5 at bookmaker. You know what? I mean, so I guess does that mean I wouldn't? If they would give me the team total at 17.5, not at minus 130, and now it's there. It's at plus money. I just felt like that 138. No, I know that 16.5, 17.5 is key numbers, and I'm not gonna like. Well, what if the Riders just win 42-14, and then but yes, I really do like the over at 44, Jay, and I expect it to keep going up. I mean, I broke it down off the top of the show, and you guys go back, but I quoted Chris Jones, and they're just going to play as fast as possible. They've closed the playbook to much smaller playbook, and they're just going to move so fast. They're like, we're going to tire them out, is what they're saying. Even though the Riders are coming off a bye, I'm looking forward to it. So then, White Sox first 5. I will be betting here shortly. This is not the lineup that's going to attack Lance Lynn. And we had Sharpie put it on a tee, but before Lance Lynn's numbers were 345, 1.054 OPS versus lefties. Sharpie explained how bad he was versus lefties and what the Angels and some of these teams can do against them, and that's what happens. But the Jays can't do it against them. They didn't even have Varsho in the lineup. It's possible they come out with Kiermaier the only lefty in the lineup. The game 2, we've got to cash a little more. Tor Cork says we'll cash this. I wanted to. I love it. Yes, Cornelius is starting and playing. Well, we expect the full game. Cornelius is starting. I'm moving on the Phillies. Tone Miggins is on the Phillies, and TJ's Gift is on the Phillies. I like hearing that, JPZ. Let's keep that shit going, man. Jose's on the first 5 under 4 in St. Louis, Miami. He's nervous about that spot. I did not trust the capping, which I should have, and on the Orioles. A big move towards the Orioles first 5. I wanted the Orioles first 5, but not at this price. The ribeye play today from Mike M is Jose Ramirez at plus 135. Jose's on the under 9. Jay's final take is on the first 5 over 4.5. Jose's on the Red Sox at plus 126, going up against BJ and Ron Crawford, who are on the other side with the Rangers. I'm interested in the Mariners when the line comes out. I'm on the Diamondbacks first half and full game. If Noli's still here, I'd love to hear what you think of. What Cookie's going to do today, Cookie Carrasco. Justin McElvee's on the Diamondbacks this game over 10. Jose's on the first 5 under 4.5 in Pittsburgh, LA. I'm doubling up on first 3 under 2.5 and the first 5 under. I see the market moving towards Oviedo, who got lit up and smoked last start. Bounce back spot for him. And I love Urias at home and trust him at home. And those 2 starts back to back are the reason why this opened up at 5. That's our show for today. Thank you guys so much for supporting us here. We have nothing without you. Jay Peasy, Ken Mizrahi, Tori Coker, the Dapper Capper, Joey Marinaccio, Billy Friedrich. Billy Friedrich you got me laughing a couple times today, Billy. You were on one. JW, Alfred 44. What a great group. Real Deal Prime, Big Luch, Noli Knows, Big Daddy Boom, Christopher Comentini. Thank you guys. Nasty Nate. I can't wait to be hanging with Nate again, man. Good people. Andrew G, Troy Torrance, Jack Rosenblatt. Thank you for the $50 dono from Jack Rosenblatt. And then we had the $50 dono from Jonathan Yim. Thank you guys. Thank you for supporting us and believing in us. Billy Friedrich, 1777 Memorabilia, Robert Franklin, all you guys. Brian Watson. Thank you. Londo, Deacon, Woo, Rizza, Filthy Sticks. Rob Free. Thank you guys. Means a ton. Now let's go out there and get that fucking cash today, man. Let's go out there and get the fucking cash today, man. It's been a good week and one fucking strikeout away from a winning day yesterday. And, I want that fucking money. Leche. Hey, those bookmakers, let's milk that fucking shit.